gets used to that at Taylor Field, Regina, partner?
I think it's the rule, not the exception, if there's a wind blowing here at Taylor Field. The nice news is it's a beautiful sunny afternoon and a great day for football. A good crowd here at Taylor Field, and great anticipation for the Rough Riders to get back on track after their loss last week to Winnipeg, and of course the BC Lions hoping to build on that big win that they had in Hamilton last week.
So breezy that Billy Bell has to hold for Lou Pasaglia on the opening kickoff at Taylor Field today. On the return for Saskatchewan, Orville Lee beginning at his 15. A good opening for Orville Lee. And there is a flag down behind the play. It'll come back a yard or two. Eddie Lowe was in on an illegal block.
Yeah, he sure was. And boy, I can't believe how you can just pass up the guy. You cost yourself so much yardage on those kickoff returns, a block that Eddie Lowe shouldn't have made.
Legal block
For Saskatchewan. The offensive line, much the same as it has been for the last couple of seasons. Moore and Stevenson on the outside, Anderson at center. There's a new wide receiver in Greg Harris, along with Don Narcisse on the right side. Fairholm and Elgard, two of the best at slot back. Floyd and Milson Jones are the runners and the quarterback. As usual, number 5, Kent Austin. First down, Saskatchewan. And Milson Jones struggles. He might have close to 5 yards.
Only one change this week for the BC Lions, and that comes in their secondary. We'll show you Norman Jefferson back in the lineup at the corner spot. The front four got some pressure last week against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Quarterbacks, the linebacking trio, probably the best feature of their defense with Willie Pless, Tank Landry, and Alondra Johnson. And there you see the change. Norman Jefferson takes over for Lonnie Finch. Billy Bell, the newcomer in his 3rd game on the corner.
This is 2nd and 6. Austin puts it out down the near side for Narcisse. Tightly covered by Norman Jefferson, number 12. It was good defense for the BC Lions.
Well, Narcisse had a step, but you see the factor that the wind plays in this throw. It just hangs up there. Norman Jefferson is able to recover and get the hand up. And, you know, for a defense that has struggled so much this year, in fact, there's 6th in total defense in the league, to get off to a good start is imperative for them. And they hold Saskatchewan on their first series and will get the ball in excellent field position. Mike Lazecki kicking into that strong breeze.
Lazecki standing at his 10-yard line. And the Lions await out near midfield. Blocked kick this time. Loose in the end zone. A chance for the Lions to score. Willie Pless comes through with a block kick. And the BC Lions have the turnover and the touchdown. As Jamie Terrace, great special teams player with the BC Lions, had a loose ball to fall on in the end zone.
Well, Willie Pless just blows right up the middle. Mike Lazecki really doesn't take an extra amount of time there. Just poor blocking up front for the Riders. Willie Pless with the block, and you'll see number 23, Jamie Terrace, a reserve slot back, fullback. He falls on the ball, and for a team that has struggled so far in 1990, what a way to start the ball game with the turnover for a touchdown.
Willie Pless sets it up. Jamie Terrace finishes it off as he falls on it in the end zone. And the Lions have a 6-0 lead with Lou Pasaglia making it 7-0 early in the opening quarter at Taylor Field. That is the first block punt for Lazecki this year, a very costly one, a very tough beginning for the Rough Riders at home.
You know, you look at the BC Lions, and their problems this year have really been the fact that they have given the ball away far more times than they have been able to take it away. And, you know, last week they only turned it over once. This week they begin the game by creating a turnover for a touchdown. And, boy, those are the kinds of things that can help turn your season around in a hurry. And Jamie Terrace, the recipient of that block punt by Willie Pless, and Willie Pless having one of his best years in the 5 years he's been in the Canadian Football League, and a great contributor on that team, both special teams and, of course, at his linebacking spot.
Orville Lee and Albert Brown are deep for Louis Pasaglia's second kick in about a minute and a half. 13:37 remaining in the opening quarter.
That's the way Louis will like it.
Along the ground this time, it hit one of the Rough Riders, and Alapate couldn't come up with it. It'll be a BC ball as Hansen comes up with it.
Now, you talk about breaks. I mean, here, Louis kicks off, lines it right into the back of Tuane Alapate. You're going to see it right here. Wham! Almost knocks it over, and then number 34, Ryan Henson, is right there. Kind of a fluky play, but a play that you're going to take. So a couple of turnovers back-to-back for the BC Lions.
That is not in the book, but another turnover favors the Lions. And the offense takes to the field for the first time for BC. Joe Paopao, the starting quarterback, near side, had his man, and he dropped it. Alexander should have had the catch. Number 88 had it and dropped it.
Nice way to start the game with the play action. Those are the fellows up front that will be doing the blocking for Paopao and Doug Flutie. They had an excellent week last week against Hamilton. Jay Christensen, Tony Dennis, the inside receivers, both playing a big part in this offense. David Eldridge gets the start at running back in his first game in the Canadian Football League, and we can tell you that he is 6'1", 215 pounds, and they think he's a pretty good one. We will find out.
2nd and 10 Lions. Paopao with time. And underthrown Christensen that time. So there was a little pressure on Joe Paopao. Gary Lewis. And a 3rd down kicking situation for Lou Pasaglia. He has been the busiest Lion so far. Seven 0 BC on an early turnover at Taylor Field. A blocked punt gave the Lions their first touchdown here today. Pasaglia across the 40 to get this one away. With the win, Orville Lee at the 5. Another flag down as Lee is upended at the 15. Looks like Bobby Jurison might have been called for an illegal block down near the 5, so the Roughriders will have tough field position right here.
Well, especially you take into consideration you're driving against this stiff wind here in the first quarter. I mean, you don't need a whole lot of mistakes to put you back deep in your own end.
12:29 to play in the opening quarter at Taylor Field on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. BC Lions in front early, 7 0 on Saskatchewan.
When we went out, his idea of formal dress was a leather jacket over a t-shirt.
Never knew what they saw in him. He wasn't as good looking as me and didn't have half the personality.
Well, he got into trouble the odd time by being a bit wild. But he was a good kid, really.
Molson Special Dry, the evolution of beer.
Well, Bob Obilovich has had a couple of weeks to look at his team now and see what he likes and what he dislikes, and we said, what has he been able to accomplish in that period of time?
The biggest thing, number one, was just changing the attitude. I don't think it's any different from when I went to Toronto, based on what Toronto was doing prior to my coming there. And once I got that point across to the players, then I had to make some subtle changes in terms of what we're doing offensively and defensively, and just, I guess, my experience in the league as far as making personnel decisions with our American-Canadian ratio. And that's been a lot to do in the past week, as well as trying to reorganize the front office and get things done the way they should be as far as operating more efficiently in the football end of things.
Well, I think Opie has instilled some confidence in that team in his 2-week tenure as head coach of the Lions, and the fact that they are not turning the ball over, I think, is the biggest thing that pleases him at this point.
Roughriders begin this sequence from the 4-yard line. Lucius Floyd, a one-handed catch. It's halfway to a first down. 7-yard gain, actually, so it'll be 2nd and 3.
Lucius Floyd is starting his 9th game at the running back position since he took over for the injured Timmy McRae, and you know, in 8 games he's caught 53 passes, and he has been a huge part of the success of that Saskatchewan offense. Just to talk about Timmy McRae, if you're wondering, he's healthy, he's ready to go, and well, he wants a chance to get back in there, but Floyd has played so well, he hasn't been able to get back in and show what he can do.
Milson Jones on 2nd and 3 comes up with a first down out across the 20 to the 21. Nice little 10-yard gain for Milson. He's averaging 5.2 a carry.
He is, and he's about 240 pounds, I think, about right now, and he has a good hole up front, opened up by the center, Mike Anderson, and Bob Foley. And well, this is really important for Saskatchewan. They've struggled early. Now try and get a couple of first downs and reestablish some kind of momentum here today.
Too high for Ray Elgard out at the 40. Actually a pretty good call, but just a little high, and I guess it might have taken off into the wind on Austin once more.
You see the numbers for him. 7 times he's been over 300 yards passing in games this year, Kent Austin. And there's not enough superlatives to talk about his performance in 1990.
2nd and 10, Saskatchewan at the Roughrider 21. Lions lead at 7-0 early at Taylor Field. Austin for Elgard. I'm not sure if Johnson didn't get a hand on that lead, but anyway, Elgard had no chance to make the catch.
I think the BC Lion defense on 2nd and long came up with a pretty good strategy. You know, they know Austin's throwing into that stiff wind, so they decided to come up and jam those inside receivers a little bit. Alondra Johnson getting the hit on Elgard, and you know, they came with the blitz. They know Elgard, or rather Kent Austin, cannot really throw the bomb in this kind of a situation. Boy, that's good strategy. Come up, play those guys a little tighter when they're going into the wind.
Ozecki's last punt was blocked and went for a touchdown. This one into a stiff breeze out near the midfield area. Jefferson on the return has about 5, and the BC Lions have great field position once more.
Well, Joe Paopao gets the start at quarterback today, and I think Bob Obilovich simply likes to have that veteran in there. He thinks it's much better right now to have Doug Flutie on the sidelines, let him have a look at what's occurring on the field, and then bring him in a little later. Make no mistake, Flutie will play today, but I think it's imperative for Joe Paopao at this point in the first quarter, with that wind at his back, to take advantage of this field position.
Lions first down at the Saskatchewan 49. The newcomer, David Eldridge. Here's the way the Roughriders line up defensively, with the veterans up front in Goldsmith, Klingbeil, Lewis, and Jurison. They're happy to have Rasevich, Albright back in the lineup, and Eddie Lowe, the other linebacker. Hairston and Brown are the corners. Hall and Hogue at half, and Suter, the safety, he's playing well. Second down. 9 to go. Over the middle, wide open. Paopao has his man, and Ray Alexander has a big first down for the BC Lions inside the Roughrider 20. Nice 25-yard gain, Leaf.
Well, you know what? Paopao read it perfectly. He's a veteran. He saw Glenn Suter come up to the line of scrimmage. That 9 times out of 10 means man-to-man. He runs Alexander on a post on Albert Brown. Brown giving him a lot of room, and hence the 25-yard pickup on a 2nd and long situation. Ray Alexander had some great years in the CFL. You recall in 1986, 88 catches with the Calgary Stampeders that year.
Lions with a first down at the Saskatchewan 21. Skinner coming out of the backfield makes the catch, and he is inside the 15. Almost 10 yards.
Good call, a screen on 1st and 10, and Chris Skinner, who's having a good year catching the football. Those are his numbers, and of those 34 times he has caught the football, he averages around 9 yards a catch, and I think any team would like that from their fullback. 7 years he's been around from Bishop's University, and he picks up almost 8 yards on that screen pass.
2nd down and 3. This is Skinner once more, and Skinner has a chance to score. Stopped at the 1. It'll be 1st and goal to go from the 1-yard line for the BC Lions. Impressive drive here, engineered by Paopao.
Good blocking along the left side, and he gets a great lead block from the newcomer, David Eldridge. Skinner cuts it back in, and after that good field position, Joe Paopao had to start this drive. He has moved the club down nicely.
Chris Skinner, a proud father, just about 10 days ago. His youngest daughter's name is Talisha. I don't know if she's watching in Edmonton, but I'm sure Mom is. 1st and goal to go. Flags go down, and we'll see if they call it a touchdown. It might be a procedure call against the Lions.
Regular offense. Ray, regular offense. Regular offense.
You can hear Obi calling for a pop left.
I think that's the same play that they just ran to Chris Skinner.
Who's it on? Who's it on?
Legal procedure. DC left end. First down repeated.
It'll be 1st down. Goal to go from the 6.
Dust off my old offensive terminology and say that pop left might be the lead block.
the end zone, comes up a little short, but has a completion to Jay Christensen. And the Lions are back to the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal to go from there. Jay Christensen has had his best year ever in Canadian football. 5 touchdown receptions. 34 catches. 536 yards.
That wasn't pop left.
Pow himself, and he's in for the touchdown. Is that pop left?
That's pop left. Old Pow left. You got it. Anyway, they do a nice job. Rocco Romano, Larry Clarkson along the left side, along with center Ian St. Clair, and they get some movement on that Saskatchewan front four. You're going to see it right here, and Joe Pow follows through the block of Rocco Romano into the end zone. That's his 3rd touchdown on the ground this year, and after that good field position, Joe takes advantage of it and puts a nice drive together, and the BC Lions can move in front by 14 here in the first quarter.
A turnover set up the first touchdown, and the wind really didn't allow the Roughriders to force BC, I should say, back into the area past midfield. So the Lions just marched in with good field position and scored their 2nd touchdown. With 7:14 to go in the opening quarter, the Lions lead it 14-0.
CFL Priority Courier Player of the Week. The offensive player for week number 11 is Edmonton's Craig Ellis. The BC Lions, under interim coach Jim Young, watched their visions of an upset over the Eskimos dissipate because of the elusive Craig Ellis. The 7-year CFL slotback caught 9 passes for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 32-13 victory. Craig Ellis, CFL Priority Courier, Offensive Player of the Week.
BC Lions playing with a lot of confidence here in the first quarter at Taylor Field. They managed to push the Saskatchewan defense back, then got the ball and marched 49 yards in 6 plays, 3.5 minutes. Good-looking offense, 14-0. They lead.
That's the story of our game of the week so far from sunny Saskatchewan at Taylor Field this afternoon. 7:14 to go in the opening quarter.
They do look like a different football team than about a month ago, don't they?
Absolutely.
I mean, they look polished, they look sharp, they're executing well, they're taking advantage of opportunities offensively. The defense seems like they've tightened it down. I mean, we're talking 2 different teams here.
Lions still with a shot at the playoffs in the Western Division. They're making their best effort here today. Orville Lee had problems. Now he's on his feet and down near the 20, so the Roughriders do not have terrific field position for Kent Austin to begin this drive. It's been an up-and-down season for John Gregory.
It really has. They win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Now they're on the win side of things today, if that progression would take place once more. But I think he has to be concerned because so far in the first quarter, the BC Lions have been a lot more physical than the Saskatchewan Roughriders have been.
Could be noted that the Roughriders were 6-6 at this stage of the season in 1989. Their Grey Cup year. This is Milson Jones on the drop, out to the 30. And he is off to a good start this afternoon.
Well, Milson, you know, he's a big man, 6 feet, 240 pounds, but he has very quick feet for a big man. There you see the good cut right there, and carries a few guys with him. Picks up almost 10 yards on that game, but for a big man, he has great agility and quickness, which you don't often see in a big fullback.
Roughriders just short of the first down. Second, less than a yard to go. They'll have to get out to about the 31. Jones takes the outside route this time. He has the first down. And a great run once more. Doug Landry finally forcing Milson Jones out after a gain of 16.
Now, pretty good move. You just kind of take it off tackle and then bounce it to the outside. Lucius Floyd is out in front. A pretty good block on number 4, Billy Bell, and back-to-back runs by Milson Jones. That's the Saskatchewan Roughriders deep out of their own territory, and now out into an area where Austin can start to operate and throw the football again.
From the 46, Austin to Floyd. A flag goes down. Floyd has better than 5 yards. See what Ken Lazarek has spotted down there. early indication would be interference against British Columbia on Jeff Fairholm, I would think.
There's no infraction on the play. It'll be second down here.
No infraction. Penalty dropped in error, or penalty flag dropped in error, I take it.
Well, there was a little contact downfield with Jeff Fairholm and Kevin Clark. They chose not to make a call on it. I guess if Jeff's looking inside and Kevin Clark's entitled to his area of the football field, I think Fairholm paid the price on that one. Took a bit of a shot up in the chin.
So Lucius Floyd gets marked with a gain of 6. This is 2nd and 4, Saskatchewan. Out at the Rough Rider 52 now. Early movement, flags are down. Austin, a free play if he can get it away, and he was caught from behind by Dietrich Wise. Early movement for Derek McCready.
Offside.
The Rough Riders are on a march, however. Started way back in the Saskatchewan 20, and they're into BC territory now. The Lion 52. Austin quickly on first down. And Boyko, number 15, looks to be the intended receiver. He hadn't turned around in time.
Well, you know, Tank Landry is the kind of middle linebacker that can really destroy your blocking schemes in a hurry. I mean, he lines up all over the place. That time he came way to the outside and just blitzed from the outside linebacking position. Nobody picked him up. Austin had to throw before he was ready, but you know, you have certain keys in your blocking patterns, and Tank can destroy those keys in a hurry.
2nd and 10. Austin for Elgard, and Elgard has had 3 tossed his way. That was his best possible opportunity at a reception, and couldn't bring that one down.
Biggest problem for the Lions this year has been the pass rush and lack of it, but so far last week against the Ticats and here in the first quarter against Saskatchewan, they're putting more pressure on the quarterbacks. Austin knows that when he sets up in the pocket, he has to get rid of that ball pretty quickly. He can't just stand tall back there all day long, and I think so far they've in the first quarter they've unsettled his rhythm a touch.
Mike Lozecki across the 45 to get a short kick away. Bouncing near the 40 of BC. Jefferson on the return. Flag is down. Tackle made by Bruce Boyko.
That's going to be like a 5-yard punt right there.
Maybe 10, but not much more.
No, not even 10 yards. Look, they started at the 52. It's at the 47, 5-yarder.
You're right.
Hey, I know my math. I mean, I can subtract 5 from...
Timeout on the field with 4:28 to play. In the opening quarter, the BC Lions have had it pretty much their way so far at Taylor Field this afternoon. They lead 14-0.
Honda presents a cure for cabin fever on those long excursions with the family. The wonderfully spacious Accord sedan. Why, there's so much more comfortable room. You may never hear, "How much further to go, Dad?" again.
Well, we're going to follow the matchup this afternoon with Larry Willis against Stacey Harrison, and we asked Larry about that matchup, and he doesn't have a whole lot of respect for Stacey.
I think the best thing that he has going for himself is his quickness. I don't think he's a good cover guy, or he's not very physical, and he's not big, so I'll probably pretty much be able to do anything that I want against him. I think I can run by him, or I can run good routes on him. I haven't seen him cover anybody that well this year. I think if they don't get pressure up front, he'll be in for a long day.
Now what is Mr. Hairston going to have to say about that? Not much respect.
Well, he's going to get his chance to talk about Larry Willis, but according to Larry, not a whole lot to worry about today in playing. Just another walk in the park. So we'll watch how that matchup develops for you. And there they are. They're working against each other right now.
Pow on 1st and 10 over the middle, and Carinci has his first catch of the day. First catch in a long while. Jan Carinci has had injury problems this year and is really playing his 3rd game.
Well, here's the matchup we talked about, and Larry Willis stumbles a little bit, and Stacy said, hey, you know, you don't talk about me like that and get away scot-free. I'm going to come up and play in-your-face football for a little while, see what happens.
Gain of 16, another BC first down, and another one here to Ray Alexander. Alexander at the 20 as the Lions continue to look very impressive offensively.
Second time Ray Alexander's caught the ball on that post pattern. They go to the hurry-up offense, which I think is good right here. They want to take advantage of that wind, but Joe Pow got things going his own way right now.
A 25-yard gain, and play is whistled down. Bring out a new football for Joe Pow. 1st and 10. Lions at the Saskatchewan 20. 3:24 to go. In the opening quarter, the Lions already lead 14-0. Pow to the end zone. Too high. Suter had a chance. Jake Christensen was the intended receiver, but Glenn Suter almost had an interception. That would have been his 3rd of the season.
Well, Jake Christensen is such a good target for Joe Pow at 6'4", 215 pounds, and Pow feels like even though there's close coverage, he has enough confidence in him now that he will try and get it into him that time. Suter should have picked the ball out.
Down to the 10. Stopped by David Albright. Eldridge was the ball carrier.
Made by 39, Saskatchewan, Dave Albright.
Good read by Joe Pow on 2nd and long. Regina deciding to loosen up that defense, forcing Pow to dump it off underneath to David Eldridge, his first catch in the CFL. And he gets them close enough that they will bring in some of the big guys and attempt to pick up that first down on a 3rd down gamble.
Inches to go for the first down at the Rough Rider 10. Lions took advantage of an early break, and they have been very impressive when they've had the football. 3rd down, inches to go. And there is a first down, no flags down. Chris Skinner carries.
Joe fell on it.
Okay, regular offense.
Regular offense.
Let's go with the drop play. Tell him to run a drop.
Tell him.
Even I can understand that one.
Yeah. That was interesting listening to Obi talk yesterday, because he was saying that the BC offense that was set up before he got there was a little complicated in the terminology. So he's backing away from it a little bit.
Well, he no longer wears the headset to be in touch with the coaches upstairs, calling plays and so forth, although Pow calls his own game. But he said, I didn't understand the terminology, so I've stayed away from it. And some people might think that's a good idea.
Well, it's working well so far this afternoon. Skinner gets to the 5-yard line on the drop.
Well, BC essentially has a good run-blocking offensive line. Big guys up front with, you know, Groenwagen and Romano at the guards and Ian Sinclair at the center. So between those 3 people, they really make the draw happen. That time they got enough blocks to allow Chris Skinner to pick up 5 yards.
Come on, let's do it. We'll go right.
Minute 16 remaining in the opening quarter. 2nd and goal to go for the Lions at the Saskatchewan 5. Tries to get it away, and it's picked off. Eddie Lowe on the return for Saskatchewan. A big play for the Rough Riders as Lowe gets up near the 40, forced out by Larry Willis. Well, that's a little bit of the spark that the Rough Riders did need. They were rather lethargic in the opening moments of the quarter. Here it is.
With only 55 seconds left in the first quarter. He's trying to hit Larry Willis, but the ball just does not get there. I think Pow's arm was hit just as he let the ball go. And Eddie Lowe, with his 4th interception of the season, brings it back on a very good return. But boy, nothing right has happened to the Rough Riders here in the first quarter, and maybe that's the play that will get them on track a little bit.
1st and 10 for the Rough Riders, Saskatchewan 38, and Austin high once more for Ray Elgard. The combination has not worked at all this afternoon, and it really is the Rough Riders' best.
Eddie Lowe was an All-Canadian in 1989, had his best year ever at the linebacking spot for the Riders, and boy, he made a huge play for them right there late in the 4th quarter.
Out of town this afternoon, the Stampeders back on track. In the 4th, they lead it 45-8. 2nd and 10 for the Western Riders here. Austin for Fairholm. He's crunched at the 45.
Well, that was a great job by number 16, Kevin Clark, who's come over from the Edmonton Eskimos, starting his second game this afternoon in that BC Lions secondary, and he made the good hit, keeping Fairholm well short of that first down, and that will certainly force the Roughriders to punt. And that's a big play when you consider there's only 5 seconds left here in the first quarter, and that makes Mike Lazecki punt into this strong wind. So, you know, that's going to save them a lot of yardage, that tackle.
Should be the last play of the opening quarter at Taylor Field this afternoon. Lazecki had 1 block. It went for a touchdown. His average is not impressive this afternoon. They fake it. Lucius Floyd fumbled the ball. And McCready comes up with it for the BC Lions. No flags are down. It'll go as a turnover. And that ends the opening quarter with the BC Lions in complete control so far. It is 14-0 for the BC Lions on the hometown Roughriders at Taylor Field today.
It's an event just being here. Skydome, the world's greatest entertainment center.
Well, I think this was a pretty good gamble considering they were going into the wind, but watch Lucius Floyd, number 31, fumbles that snap from the center, and the BC Lions will recover on the turnover. You know, not a bad gamble, though, to make. They would have been punting into that strong wind anyway.
Elridge carries, and there's not much there. Stopped by Richie Hall.
Richie Hall was coming on a safety blitz from the outside, and he hit that play right on the head, and all 5'6", 160 pounds of him knocks down David Elridge. BC Lions lose 1. Hey, you know, they don't suffer a whole lot going into the wind with Joe Paupa. I mean, I think he has the strongest arm of any quarterback in the league right now. And boy, that wind really won't bother his throws.
Well, he's played at Taylor Field quite frequently. Paupa to Christensen. As a former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, he should be able to read the wind here in this ball yard.
Well, you know what? He has a really tight spiral on his footballs, and that's the difference between throwing well into the wind and not.
First quarter numbers, Leaf, you alluded to the problems of the wind, and you're exactly right. They affected not only the physical numbers generated by Kent Austin, they also affected the hearing of the players on the field, because it's difficult sometimes when the play is changed at the line of scrimmage to hear the audible. That's what the numbers are. See what the Lions can do in the second quarter.
Breezy day at Taylor Field. It is a third down punting situation. Pasaglia steps across the 50. Orville Lee has it bounced near the 10. Flags down. Orville Lee draws a flag, so that'll mean a little better field position than near the 12. 33-yard kick by Pasaglia into the wind.
Does it not drive you crazy, though, when the ball's on the ground, how the guys cannot get away from that 5-yard? I mean,
obviously, it's driving you nuts.
Well, no, but I mean, you've got them pinned down there, and I mean, you can't get away from that ball. I don't know.
No yards. DC, bounce back 5 yards. Decline. First down, Saskatchewan.
Well, the 5 yards doesn't cost you a whole lot. Good news is for BC, they keep Saskatchewan pinned deep in their own territory, and they put some points here. It will be a long drive.
First and 10 Rough Riders with the win now from the 14. And Lucius Floyd gets out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Well, the Toronto Blue Jays are still making things interesting in the American League East. They lead 10-5 in the 8th inning at Fenway, so they will cut that Boston lead to 1 game, and there still is a little ray of hope. Are you on or off the bandwagon this week, Wellesley?
Now, I'm in Baltimore tomorrow to watch that final series. So it could be kind of interesting in the final 3 days of the regular season. Elgard has still not made a reception this afternoon, and he's had at least 4 thrown his way.
You know, the BC Lion defense, I talked about this in the first quarter, but they are, even though Regina has the wind at their back, still doing the same thing in the second quarter, and that is playing these receivers a lot tighter. You know, they know that about 45% of the passes that Kent Austin completes are in that 12-yard range, so they are just sitting down on those curl patterns, and there you see the excellent coverage, and no way that Austin can get the ball in there. I mean, you got to give the BC Lion defense some credit. They have played tough this afternoon.
Mike Lozecki's first punt with the win. Across the 5, this one is a goodie. Tony Hunter. And Hunter comes up with a pretty good return. Out to the 50, stopped there by David Pitcher and Bob Poley. 57-yard kick, 12:38 to go till halftime.
Perform this simple addition, and the sum of the parts nicely adds up. What's there to do for fun in a place like Tippo-We-Go Falls?
Well, the matchup we're following this afternoon is Stacey Harrison, the cornerback, against Larry Willis. We asked Stacey about Larry Willis.
Larry is a type of receiver that, uses speed and quickness against you. He has great hands, and to try to lull you to sleep by little stutter step moves within 5-10 yards and try to go top of you. And what I'll do to try to, go against him today is I'll try to play a little bit more closer to him, a little bit more physical on him. He's not as big as some of the other receivers, so I'll try to beat him up a little bit.
I think those are really interesting comments, because in talking to Larry Willis, you heard Larry Willis say, well, he's not very physical. So Stacey Harrison is changing up a little bit today and going to come up and play him a little tighter, bump him a little more. We saw one good isolation replay of that, and that's going to be an interesting matchup, because Larry Willis doesn't have a whole lot of respect for Stacey Harrison, and Stacey Harrison's a pretty good young corner from Ohio Northern, the Ohio Athletic Conference. Some great schools played in
Otterbein is in that conference.
Otterbein, Wittenberg, our old pal Ronnie Lancaster was at Wittenberg, and Stacey Harrison from Ohio Northern, fastest guy on the Saskatchewan Roughrider football team.
1st and 10 for the BC Lions. From the 50, Pow. Behind his intended receiver, Larry Willis.
Pass was intended for one, Larry Willis.
Larry's a great receiver, and I think a lot of how he plays, he plays so well. He 3 times over 1,000 yards in his career and came over as a free agent this year. But I think you can distract him and hurry in a game, and I think by being physical, you can really take him off his game and talk to him a little bit. And there you see the Riders giving him a little extra bump right there. And so, I don't think he likes that. No receiver likes to get hit after the football, and I think you can take him out of his pattern.
On 2nd and 10, Pow for Skinner coming out of the backfield, and he's close to a first down, about a yard, maybe a yard and a half short. David Albright made the stop on Chris Skinner that time.
Well, he's really found a home here with the BC Lions. He started off with the Edmonton Eskimos, had some outstanding years, and then moved over to the Ottawa Roughriders. Never really was at home in Ottawa. Now he's come out to the BC Lions. He's starting every game with that fullback spot. He doesn't have to worry about his starting job, and I think he's having a great year.
Lou Pasaglia enters once more. Into the breeze from around the 45. Orville Lee has no play on a return for Saskatchewan. 11:30 to go till halftime. And a former Rough Rider and teammate of Leif Pettersson's drops by our broadcast location here. Bill Baker, who was honored and put into the Saskatchewan Rough Rider Plaza of Honor.
Must have been a mistake. Well, Billy, we're glad to have you up here, and after this play, we're going to find out what you're doing with yourself these days since you have left your post as commissioner of this league.
On 1st down, Kent Austin to the near side. Narcisse drops the ball.
Now that's a tough play, isn't it? A guy drops it like that. That's a real tough one.
I'd have never done that, would I?
Oh, you'd never got that close to it. What I'm doing, Leif, is catching up with my family, my children, which has been great this last several months. I've really enjoyed that. And secondly, I'm reestablished my business career, and I'm president and chief executive officer of Sask Energy, which is the provincial gas company here in Saskatchewan.
2nd and 10 for Austin and the Rough Riders up near the 22. Saskatchewan offense has struggled, but Elgard is open, and Elgard has lots of room down the sideline. Elgard dragged down by the last man downfield. Rick Ryan And he got a little help from Billy Bell, but Elgard turns an 80-yard play. First catch of the day, and it's a biggie, Lee.
Sure is. 80 yards down the sideline. Watch Elgard on the out and up. He's going to take it to the flat. There he goes right there, and his zone coverage. When Narcisse goes to the middle, that takes the corner, Billy Bell, in with him, and the field is wide open for Ray Elgard down the sidelines. 80 yards, and boy, the Saskatchewan Roughriders were struggling as they trail by 14. They needed a big play, and their big play guy all year, Ray Elgard, comes through for them.
First and goal to go for Austin from the 6. Touchdown! What a great catch by Don Narcisse, who went back the other way. Riders are back in it. Don Narcisse, big touchdown catch for Saskatchewan.
Well, you have to appreciate that Ken Austin realized the close coverage was there by Billy Bell, so he just throws it to the outside and hopes that Narcisse can come back and lay out and make the catch. And well, what a super touchdown reception that was. His 7th of the year for Don Narcisse. That's a great shot there of it. And boy, I'll tell you what, he can come up with those circus catches game after game.
7-point ball game now as Dave Ridgway adds to the Saskatchewan total.
And I mean, there's no doubt where the former commissioner's allegiance lies. A big smile has crept across the face of former defensive end Bill Baker, who's guesting with us here in the booth.
Now, Bakes, I want to ask you a question. Every time someone looks back on your career, they talk about the day that you put 3 Eskimo quarterbacks out in one day. And we saw comments from Tom Wilkinson and Bruce.
They weren't very nice, were they? They weren't very nice comments, were they?
No.
They said you never got anybody from the front.
Well, we had a lot of fun in this field. That was a nasty day in Saskatchewan that one day. It was about 1971, and I had the flu and didn't feel very well. And
so you were angry.
It just got to be a nasty day, and things happened, and it was a tough day.
Bill, you know, you and I were talking earlier today, and you're doing a nice thing for the Roughriders right now, trying to get some of the players involved in jobs in the offseason to keep them around.
Well, Leaf, one of the toughest things we all know is for players to get sort of back into the workforce after they played football. And to me, that's very, very important.
Here's the return for British Columbia, and Hunter runs into a wave of green jerseys down near the 15, led by Tuna Alapate.
Well, Billy, we wish you all the best back in civilian life now. Maybe a few less headaches than trying to run the league.
It's been a real pleasure being back in Saskatchewan, back with my family. And I said, as far as player employment goes, to me, it's an absolute priority. So we're going to see if we can't get Saskatchewan players back working in the community. So thank you very much.
See, if they could have found Pedersen a job at Regina back in those days, he never would have left.
I'm not so sure about that. Thanks for joining us, Bill.
Thank you.
All right.
Lions 1st and 10 from the 17. Flutie is in at quarterback. He stumbles and gets up to get to the 20-yard line.
Against the wind, the Roughriders couldn't do very much. With the wind, they got a lot done in a hurry. 2 big passes, an 80-yard strike to Ray Elgard, and the 6-yard pass to Don Narcisse. 7th touchdown of the season. It took 64 seconds. It got the Riders back in the game.
Well, good to his word, Bob Obilovich has Doug Flutie in the ball game. He wanted to start pow-pow, see what would happen. Now Doug Flutie gets his chance. And Flutie slips, gets back up over the middle. Dangerous toss. Larry Willis was the intended receiver. And I'm not so sure that Flutie should have fired the football that time, but he got away with it.
Well, they try and bring Doug Flutie in for a different look. Of course, you don't expect Joe Pow-Pow to run with the football. He's pretty much a stationary target back there when he's in the pocket. Doug Flutie slips on that play, but he gives the Saskatchewan defense a few more things to think about. And this year, it seems to be the year of the running quarterback around. As you look at Ricky Foggy and what he was able to do last night in that Toronto game.
Lou Pasaglia has trouble. The old quarterback decides to run himself. Can he get a first down? I think he did. On 3rd and 9, Pasaglia turns a broken play into a first down. No flags that I can see.
Well, Louis makes a pretty gutsy play right here. He simply mishandles that snap from the center and makes a very, very good choice as he gets around one potential tackler right here. There he goes. He gets by Richie Hall, and he's thinking throw maybe, but then he says, hey, I can run for this thing, you know, like I was a scrabbling quarterback way, way back at SFU, so the guy I like to call all-time Louis Pasaglia picks up the first down for them.
Lions out at their own 29. And not much running room for David Eldridge that time.
There he is, the all-time points leader anywhere on this planet, Louis Pasaglia. And he's probably more proud of that 9-yard rush than a lot of the great field goals he's kicked under pressure and things like that, because that's something he can go into the locker room and, you know, really talk about and relate to the other guys that are taking the hits all the time. See that move I made on Richie Hall? He'll be calling him that.
Yeah, he'll isolate them on the highlight reel. Gain of 1. This is 2nd and 9 once more for Flutie. Looks to the far side and can't come up with a connection. Alexander. And the coverage supplied by Stacey Hairston that time.
Well, Ray Alexander's complaining, but Stacey Harrison did a great job. Stayed on the inside hip of Ray Alexander, followed him downfield, and well, I thought that was great coverage.
8:07 till the half. And Pasaglia is back in on 3rd and 9. Moments ago, he ran for a first down. This time he'll kick to short. With snap well handled. Ogley calls for it at the 42. And he's out to the 50, so the Rough Riders have good field position with a win. John Gregory is 7 points behind Bob Obilovich and the BC Lions, but there's lots of time left this football afternoon at Taylor Field.
CFL Priority Courier Player of the Week. The lineman player for week number 11 is Toronto's Harold Hallman. That patented post-sack celebration became as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Argos defensive tackle. Hallman brought down Tiger Cat quarterbacks 4 times, supplied 3 tackles, and played with total vengeance in the Argos' 39-16 victory. Harold Hallman, CFL Priority Courier Lineman of the Week.
Back to Taylor Field in Regina. Our game of the week, a good one so far, with the BC Lions gunning for a spot in the playoffs. They've got a long way to go. The Saskatchewan Roughriders still with a shot at top spot in the Western Division, trailing by 7 points to the Lions. The wind favors Saskatchewan in the second quarter with 7:44 to go till the half. 1st and 10 Roughriders. On the 49, Lucius Floyd. And he's out to the 54.
Lucius Floyd.
Stopped by Alondro Johnson.
By 44, Alondro Johnson.
Well, probably the greatest feature of that BC Lion defense are their linebackers, and A.J. number 44, Alondro Johnson. Boy, he did a great job. That looked like Lucius Floyd was going to go for about 10 or 15, but Johnson came out of nowhere to hold him to about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
2nd and 6. Austin will throw. Narcisse will catch. And that's a big first down for the Rough Riders inside the 35. Rick Ryan made the tackle. 23-yard gain.
Well, this looks as though it's really going to be a game of who has the win last. And so far in the second quarter now, it's been all Saskatchewan. Austin very comfortable. His offensive line giving him lots of time to throw the football. And so far he's been able to pick out Narcisse for a touchdown and Ray Elgard for a big gainer. And it's all with the wind at their back.
On first down, Elgard, the intended receiver. And Austin was just a little off target. About a yard high. 2nd and 10 from the 34 for Saskatchewan.
Well, I believe Ray Elgard's about 6 yards away from having the best season in his career with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. 8 years he's been here. 1988, he had 1,290 yards. I believe right now he's got 1,284. So no question, he is having his best year ever.
2nd and 10, Saskatchewan. Austin in trouble and down. That's the first sack of the afternoon for the Lions. Alondro Johnson got through to deck Austin that time.
And that's where most of their sacks come from. When they come with the blitz, Alondro Johnson picking up the first sack of the afternoon for the BC Lion defense. But you look through that linebacking core, and that's now 3 on the year for him. Tank Landry has 3, and Willie Pless has 3. So when they come with the blitz, they are counting on their linebackers to make the sacks, not their front 4.
With a win, Dave Ridgway now. And I don't know if it was a plan fake or not, but Suter carries the ball. And Suter is forced out short of the first down. They needed a bunch. It was 3rd and 16. Is that a bad exchange, Leaf?
Well, it's tough to see with Suter's back to us, but I don't think he handled the ball properly to get it on the tee for Dave Ridgway. And then Tank Landry, number 39, was so alert, and he made a great play to make sure that Suter didn't go any farther. There you see, it looked like a pretty good snap, and sometimes those things happen. I mean, I was a holder in my career, and boy, you think of all the times you handle a football. Every once in a while, you mishandle it, and they tried to make something happen, but Tank Landry did a super job to make sure that Suter didn't get to the outside. So another turnover in favor of the BC Lions. I believe that's 3 this afternoon for Saskatchewan so far. 4th turnover. Oh yeah, they had the 3rd down punt. That's right.
Tank Landry is the injured BC Lion. He's at the far side of the field. The Lions have a timeout. We'll take one too. With 5:41 to the half, the BC Lions continue to lead the way, 14-7.
The remarkably spacious Civic 4-door sedan. When you work all day in economy, it's nice to retire to a first-class lounge. Perform this simple addition, and the sum of the parts nicely adds up.
Halftime here on the CFL and TSN. We'll take you to Ottawa and see what's happening between the Stampeders and the Roughriders. And the hint is that Calgary is doing pretty good. You'll meet Ray Alexander, number 88 of the British Columbia Lions, and Leaf, and some highlights from an entertaining first half at Taylor Field.
Well, there's the Tank. Doug Landry injured on that last play, the run by Glenn Suter. Go back and see what happens to him. He makes the play here, and watch, you'll see number 95, Wayne Dixon, gets the knee in the back of the head of Tank Landry, and I think it'll take a little more than that. Keep the Tank out of the lineup.
Now here's other news in Tank Landry. He and Bob Obilovich are apparently getting along quite well.
Yes, they are. That's nice to see.
Obi says he's playing very well, and there was talk when Obilovich was named head coach in British Columbia that Landry would ask to be traded. It has not happened. And everything is one big happy family in BC.
Which we like to see. That's great. I mean, things are going pretty well since Obi has taken over that club. Different kind of enthusiasm on the field for the BC Lions in the last couple of weeks.
1st and 10 for the Lions at the 47. He's got Footy. Little high for Christensen, but the catch is made by Ray Alexander. Now, I don't know who it was intended for, Leif, but the result is a big first down for the Lions.
Well, it was intended for Jake Christensen, and it goes through his hands, and Ray Alexander very alert to come up with that football. There's the tip, and Alexander makes the catch. It's a nice way to pick up a first down for the BC Lions, and you know, when you're struggling, sometimes you need a little bit of luck to carry you through a ball game.
Gain of 24. Lions first down at the 40. David Eldridge, and he slips.
Hawker, 25, there's David Eldridge.
4:45 to the half.
I don't know what it is about this field here at Taylor Field. So many guys seem to slip on it. I mean, the field is totally dry, but turf may be getting just a little worn down here over the years, and a lot of guys slipping and falling for no reason at all.
2-yard loss on the play. 2nd and 12. Lions at the Saskatchewan 41. He's still fighting into a rather stiff breeze at Taylor Field this afternoon. Skinner couldn't hang on. Bobby Jurison had him tied up immediately.
Bobby Jurison read that perfectly. He saw Skinner and the rest of the offensive linemen trying to set up that screen, so he just quit on his pass rush and slid over, and had Skinner been able to hang on to the football, it wouldn't have mattered because Bobby Jurison had him in the wraps there. He would have not gone any further.
Lou Pasaglia is out of field goal range in this gusty breeze this afternoon. And snap, but he gets it away. This is the newcomer, Greg Harris, who draws a flag. The 15. Greg Harris started the game last week. Had a couple of receptions. 3 for 28 yards last week. He's replacing Mark Guy, who's on the injury list with a bad knee.
No yards. DC number 78. First down, Saskatchewan.
And this will not be the win rule. This is 15 yards instead of 5. And so the officials finally feel like, hey, you guys are taking advantage of this one a little bit. No problem giving the 5 yards, so give it. But we're going to give you the 15-yarder, as we did right there.
3:42 to the half. First down, Saskatchewan. The 27. Narcisse can't hang on. There was tight coverage on Narcisse from Billy Bell that time. Well, Austin has set a Rough Rider record this afternoon, 3,874 yards passed for this season. That eclipses Ron Lancaster's record set in 1976. Single season.
Well, that's quite an accomplishment, and our congratulations go to Ken Austin, who is a fine quarterback in this league.
From the shotgun for Lucius Floyd, and well read by Willie Pless. No first down.
Well, to put this in perspective, Ronnie Lancaster, of course, set that record playing 16 games. The CFL, now they play 18, but that really doesn't matter because we're in the 13th week of the season. So Ken Austin did it 3 games quicker than Ronnie did it, although I think Kent throws the ball just a little more per game than Ronnie did way back then. Somehow I think he had to give it to George Reed a few times in those games.
Yeah, you see, Ronnie had George.
So
George had to get the ball at least 30 times a game, so he couldn't pass very often.
The George factor.
Lasecki. Great kick with the wind. This is Tony Hunter on the return for BC, and Hunter finds room down the sidelines to set the Lions up with great field position. Lucius Floyd forced him out. 51-yard kick, 31-yard return. 2:46 to go. In the first half, 3-minute warning is up on the field here in Regina. The Lions have the lead 14-7.
Is that all there is? It's kind of simple, isn't it? You sure all the good stuff hasn't sunk to the bottom? Well, where's the buried treasure? There's no mystery. That's it. This is just flakes. I can actually taste the cereal. It doesn't need anything else. The naked truth. And I like that.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Corn Flakes?
Taste them again for the first time.
A lot of Saskatchewan Roughriders can tell you where they were on the 5th of August, 1983. A great wide receiver, Chris DeFrance, 8 catches for 260 yards on this day. That's the last time a Rider receiver had over 200 yards in a game.
Remember that one?
I don't remember the game. I remember Chris DeFrance, though. He was a great one. Saskatchewan's had a history of having some tremendous slot backs. Joey Walters is here today. He's being inducted to their Hall of Fame, and Chris DeFrance was another great one. They've got Ray Elgard and Jeff Fairholm right now, so the list goes on and on of great slot backs that have played here in Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan Roughriders honored 4 former players on Friday night. Pete Martin, Garner Ekstrand, Bill Baker, Joey Walters. 1,100 people were at the festivities of the Plaza of Honor Awards dinner. Tor Springsteen also honored a Rough Rider from many years ago. $250 of plates, 1,100 people. They made $160,000 at the dinner.
And since you were so gracious to act as co-host for the evening, I guess they didn't charge you $250 for your plate, did they?
No, I didn't. I didn't pay
thank
for
goodness
dinner,
for that, eh?
I had to work a little bit, too.
Yeah, well, that was good. I hear you did a great job.
Thanks, Leif. It was fun. Chris Skinner out to midfield. They'll mark him at a gain of 3. This will be 2nd and 7 upcoming for the BC Lions.
You know, John, it's a great opportunity for Doug Flutie with 2:17 remaining to try and add on to that 14-7 lead. You know, you have to be kind of careful into this win, but at the same time, I'd like to see him start running with the football a little bit.
Not that time. Alexander couldn't make the catch. He was in heavy traffic. Eddie Lowe, number 42, was there. And the Lions will kick it away once more into the breeze. Lions' first touchdown on the first sequence of plays on a turnover block kick. Mike Lozecki gave it up, and it was recovered in the end zone by Jamie Terrace. Lions open up a 14-0 lead. The Roughriders have come back to close within a touchdown. The bounce-back rule should be in effect as Suter jumps on that one. Tough day on the punters, going from right to left across your television screen. A net 16 on the punt. Louis doesn't have to worry about the wind factor when he plays at home.
No, I think he likes it under that roof.
No yards. Bounce back rule, 5 yards. Number 50 BC. First down, Saskatchewan.
Number 50 is Marlon Brown, and he hasn't been around all that long. 3 games to date. He was number 4 this afternoon. Minute 56 to go. The Roughriders have lots of time to hit the end zone if they can get a drive going here. Wilson Jones out across the 45 to the 47. 4-yard gain.
Lots of time for Ken Austin and his offense, which leads the league in total offense, to move it downfield and pick up some points with about a minute 45 remaining here.
On 2nd and 6, Austin into traffic. Narcisse was in the area, but he really didn't have much of a chance of coming up with the football.
BC Lions have done a good job in their zone coverage this afternoon. The only time they've been hurt is when they've gone to man-to-man, and a few times Narcisse on the post has hurt the BC Lions secondary. But in that zone coverage this afternoon, they have been able to squeeze down those lanes very quickly when the ball is in the air, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders receivers really have not had a great first half so far.
Minute 42 till halftime. Zecki high and deep. Tony Hunter back near his 2. Ball's there. And gets a block. And Hunter out across the 45 and still going. Hunter is going to go all the way. 108 yards for the touchdown. Now I thought that they might have called that one. There was a block in front of Hunter, but 108 yards and the touchdown. It will stand. Great special teams player with the Edmonton Eskimos last year.
Wow, look at the moves he makes right here. Now he accelerates. A good block right there. And boy, finally at the end, he's waiting just for one more. The Tank Landry got him a block. And wow, 108-yard punt return for touchdown. And
now, was that not close to a block from behind down there as he took the ball around the 5? No?
Well, you tell me.
Well, no flags, but that's why I hesitated a little bit. I thought it might be coming back, but Hunter has the touchdown, 108 yards. The BC Lions have a 14-point lead once more.
Well, I think the fans here kind of agree with you, Wellesley. Here we go. Let's take it all the way from the beginning. Hunter, a little slip there, sets things up. That's a good block right there. All right, another one coming up. Willie Pless, there, here's the block right there. Get a good block on Milson Jones, and now you're talking about what, right here?
No, I was talking about way back there near the 5.
I thought Terrace's good block initially was pretty good.
All right, I'll back down. Longest punt return prior to that this season, 82 yards by Derek Crawford of Calgary against Edmonton, September 7th.
Let it go. Hey, Mom, I hope you're feeling better. I love you. I'll try to call you tonight when we get back.
Well, you don't have to call now, Tony. You've done it.
What more can you say to Mom?
Yeah. Well, I think
you're on the two, let it go.
he will describe that punt return to her in detail when he makes the call tonight.
Orville on the return for Saskatchewan. With a minute 13 to play till halftime. Stopped by Jamie Terrace and Billy Bell.
Saskatchewan, first and 10, starting at 38-yard line.
Well, let's see what Kent Austin can get going here in the final minute 12 of the opening half. He has not had his best afternoon so far. Lucius Floyd, and he is overthrown. Coverage by Ken Clark, but the pass was off target.
Fans are getting a little restless here at Taylor Field. They've watched their team struggle over the last 4 games. Big win, then a loss. Big win, then a loss. And Kent Austin, who had a miserable week against Winnipeg last week, Winnipeg Stadium, not having the first half that I'm sure he hoped to have here.
2nd and 10. Austin looks deeper this time for Elgard. It worked before, but he was off the mark that time.
Well, that was the same pattern. You're right, exactly, that he caught that 80-yard reception on before, but you know, you can't fool him twice. In that time, number 4, Billy Bell did not follow Narcisse into the middle. He stayed back in his deep third coverage, and there was no way that Elgard was going to catch that. So they will have to come up with another plan of strategy to beat that defense.
21-7, the Lions lead the Roughriders at Taylor Field this afternoon. 3rd down, Mike Lozecki steps up once more.
You know, John, you have to be impressed with BC's defense. I mean, you're looking at a group that struggled all year, and now in pretty near 6 quarters of football, they've only given up 11 points.
This is Tony Nutter once more, and he won't get away with it this time.
You know, it's amazing to me that how you can have such a quick turnaround in a couple of weeks. 11 points now in 6 quarters, and before that, teams like the Argonauts were just running all over them. Anyway, the Obi factor must be there somewhere.
The Obi factor is working well so far.
Sure.
He is unbeaten through a half and 1 game in his return to CFL head coaching. 49 seconds till the half now. Lions begin to BC 34. Doug Flutie, the quarterback drop, and he is smothered.
Here's the quarterback, 22.
Everyone was there. Rasevich is on top. I think John Gregory was looking for a timeout.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey. You think they wanted a piece of the little guy right here? How many? Count them. 5 guys? 6?
Yeah, there's at least 6. Lowe got there first, and a couple of other linebackers joined him at the quarterback.
And Chuck Klingbeil, number 99, just decided to jump on the whole pile at the end for good measure. That's a statistic that head coach Bob Abilovich does not want to see carry through for the rest of the year. It might now because they've had so many different running backs, but he does not like to have a team where the quarterback is the leading rusher. He would prefer to leave that to the running backs, but you know, they've been through so many guys this year. Kennard Martin, Lorenzo Graham, and now they've got David Eldridge in there.
2nd and 6, Lions. This is the newcomer, David Eldridge. And he converts for a first down. 39 seconds till a half.
Well, I thought they did a great job on the right side of the offensive line. Big number 66, 6'8", 300-pound Jim Mills and Leo Groenwagen on the right side. Open a good hole, and David Eldridge, we haven't seen him handle the football a great deal in the first half, but we can tell you that he was with the Los Angeles Rams at their training camp, and they had some great things to say about him. Could not keep him with the rosters being cut down, but the BC Lions happy to have him this afternoon.
This is Chris Skinner, and he's going nowhere. Gary Lewis was one of the first Rough Riders there, and he was joined by David Albright.
Gary, I'm taking these off.
Now that should leave time for one more play in the opening half. Bob Obilovich pretty happy with the way things have gone for his BC Lions so far this afternoon. 2 special teams touchdowns, one on a block kick and one on a kick return of 108 yards by Tony Hunter. So this will be the last play of the opening half as Flutie goes down to surrender. The BC Lions take a 2-touchdown lead to the dressing room at halftime at Taylor Field. Lions have played well. The Roughriders have been sporadic. And as a result, BC leads the way at halftime at Taylor Field.
This sports update is brought to you by...
Roughriders will have good field position out near the 50. Bushy turned in a pretty good run. So from the 52, Saskatchewan first down. Roughriders with a win here. Good fake by Austin as Austin throws to the far side, and Fairholm has his first catch of the afternoon out at the 45 of BC. Good start for the Roughriders, trailing by 14 points, 21-7.
Well, a different formation to start the second half. 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. Fairholm, Elgard, and Narcisse all to the wide side, and boy, that puts a lot of pressure on a defense in a hurry. You see Narcisse stretches it deep downfield, and that opens up the area for Jeff Fairholm to slide into, and Ken Austin completes his first pass. The second half.
First down, Roughriders. And Austin on target once more. Greg Harris has his first of the day.
Greg Harris, a rookie from Jackson State University, replacing Mark Guy in the lineup, who's been out for a couple of games now, and this is second start for Harris. He was on the practice roster. They have moved him into the starting assignment, 5'7". A little guy at 176 pounds, but well, he turned around just in time to make that reception on the throw from Ken Austin.
Roughriders are on the move. It could get interesting if they can hit the end zone here. And the 35 offside. Lucius Floyd is caught by Alondro Johnson. And Marlon Brown looked to move a little bit quickly for the BC Lions from his left end spot.
Well, there's no doubt the Saskatchewan Roughriders, if the wind stays as strong as it does, have to gain some ground here in the third quarter with it at their back.
Offside, BC number 50, first down repeated.
And it will be 1st and 5, Saskatchewan at the BC 30. Austin for Ray Elgard, and Elgard carries 2 of them down to the 1. Elgard has been close to touchdown territory a couple of times today, Leaf, and come up just a little bit short once more. 34 yards that time.
Well, he's done such a nice job of sitting down quickly in the hole in the coverage. There he is sitting right there. I mean, pretty easy pattern to run, but you have to know where the open zone is. He finds it, makes the catch, and then he is a good runner when he catches the football. You know, 6'3", 2 1/4 is a good size to run over a few people or carry them for an extra few yards, as he did right there.
1st and goal to go, Saskatchewan. 58-yard march, and the touchdown is there. Ken Austin carries himself, and the Roughriders head into the BC lead.
Well, I'm sure that's the way John Gregory planned it as they came out to start the third quarter. We're going to take that opening kickoff and take it straight downfield and culminate everything with a touchdown. And Ken Austin adds his 4th touchdown on the ground this year, and they have cut the BC Lion lead to 21-14 now. As Dave Ridgway adds that extra point. Boy, he did a nice job there. Another mishandled snap by Glenn Suter.
Got it away that time, and Ridgway keeps his convert streak intact. 12:33 left in the third quarter. The Roughriders right back in the game. It's 21-14. Following today's game, the TSN Turning Points will be brought to you by National Trust. Our game of the week is a good one so far, with the Roughriders coming back to close within a touchdown of the British Columbia Lions. Always fun to come back to Regina Leaf and see a few old friends. Old pal of ours, Les Pavlik, in the stands just down in front of us here. Yeah, and he lives in Red Deer now, so I'm sure he's got some friends out that way. They may hook up with Les one of these days.
Oh, I think so.
Hunter had a great return earlier. Boyko forced him out that time. Great return, 108 yards for a touchdown.
All the scoring has been into the wind, or been with the wind, rather, in this game. All the touchdowns scored at the south end of the field. 1-yard rush by Kent Austin to finish a 58-yard drive that took 2.5 minutes and 5 plays.
Well, Peter, there you see another look at it. Kent Austin following the 15-year veteran Roger Aldag into the end zone with Saskatchewan's second touchdown of the afternoon, and they have made this a tight one here.
Joe Pawpaw back at quarterback for the Lions. The pitch to David Eldridge. And not much for Eldridge that time. Got by a couple of tacklers. And finally brought down by Gary Lewis, number 79 for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. 8 of 13 for 102 yards. Joe Pawpaw's numbers so far.
Well, I think Obi's thinking to start this third quarter is get the veteran back in there and try and reestablish something. They didn't have a whole lot of offense in that second quarter, mainly because they were working into the wind as they are now in the third quarter, but just go with the experience.
Larry Willis. Alexander makes the catch. Now, Willis was the intended receiver. Or hang on, it's Christensen, number 83, with the catch. Alexander wears 88. Not fair when they put their receivers' numbers.
Especially when you're looking all the way across the field. But once again, another tip ball goes for a reception. Larry Willis sticks his hands out, tips it right to number 83, Jay Christensen, and that is a big first down for the BC Lions. They want to try and chew up some of this clock here in the third quarter by keeping the football.
The midfield pop out of the far side. Willis. It was tight coverage by Hairston, Stacey Hairston. Who's winning that battle we talked about earlier?
Well, I think Stacey Harrison's winning the battle so far this afternoon. Larry Willis really, for the most part, has been shut out here. And look at the good position Hairston's in, right on that outside hip. Now, Willis will look for the football, and although Hairston looked a little late for that ball, he was in such good position that the football was not able to get into Larry Willis for him to make the catch.
There's a long way to go in that particular matchup today. Second and 10 from the shotgun. And off target, Christensen could not bring it home that time. Tony Dennis, rather, number 24.
Well, you know, Tony Dennis would love to have a big game. You know, he spent a few years here with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and yes, it is a pretty nice afternoon here at Taylor Field. I'm not sure the weather's that good. I mean,
well, on the sunny side of the stands, perhaps.
If you have enough antifreeze in you, you know, you can do those things, I guess.
It used to be one of the great places for the Bottle and Blanket Club. Taylor Field. Lucas Saglia into the breeze.
Get that a little quicker.
Orville on the return for Saskatchewan. He's out about the 23-yard line. 40-yard kick, 8-yard return. Saskatchewan offense takes the field when we return to Taylor Field. Lions.
The remarkably spacious Civic four-door sedan. When you work all day in economy, it's nice to retire to a first-class lounge. Perform this simple addition, and the sum of the parts nicely adds up.
Which of these women has lupus? Often misdiagnosed as arthritis, heart, or kidney disease, lupus affects some 50,000 Canadians, mostly women in their childbearing years. Chronic fatigue and painful joint inflammation can be early signs. There is no cure, but the Databank project at Toronto's Wellesley Hospital may provide a breakthrough. It's developing treatments that will benefit every woman in this room, because they all have lupus.
Well, the Grey Cup champion Roughriders have been on a bit of a roller coaster ride over their last 4 games. There was a 55-11 win over Winnipeg, a 30-21 loss to Ottawa, a 45-19 win over Ottawa, and last week a loss to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, 36-7. gives the Roughriders a record of 6-6. And if the form charts were prevailing, they should be blowing out the Lions.
They're not.
No.
Trail by 7, but you know, a lot of coaches may say, well, our team's been inconsistent. We just haven't been able to put it together from week to week. But, you know, I honestly believe, as we talked in the CFL report, our pregame show, that there is parity this year throughout the league. And, boy, that sure makes it exciting for all the fans and for us as broadcasters to know that each week that anybody can win, and that's a fun way to have things.
Bombers proved that last night, or the night before, rather, in Edmonton. This is Lucius Floyd, and Floyd has a good run.
Ball carrier.
Near first down territory, gain of 8, maybe a half a yard more than that.
Well, I think the BC Lions have to be thinking, you know, there's a little better than half a quarter remaining here, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders have the wind at their backs. And what we want to try and do on defense now is just make Saskatchewan put those 8, 9, 10 plays together to score, and not let them get a big play and keep everything in front of us. And boy, you don't give them credit. If Saskatchewan can put those 8, 9, 10 plays together and score, well, that's okay. They're going to chew up a lot of the clock, and if they tie the game up, so be it. We have the fourth quarter with the wind at our advantage.
Short yardage team is in on 2nd and 1, and Milson Jones carries and loses the football. Lions indicate they have recovered. Rick Ryan at the football, and it is a turnover going in favor of the BC Lions. 5th of the afternoon against Saskatchewan.
Well, something that they have struggled with throughout the year this year. BC Lions not able to take the ball away. Too many teams from opposing teams, but that time a good hit by the tank, number 39, Doug Landry, and Rick Ryan, number 8, with the fumble recovery, and that is a big play. You know, you've got a team driving with the wind, and now they get an opportunity to use up some of that clock here in the third quarter. The turnover story, well, it has been pretty crucial. The BC Lions taking advantage of that one block punt for 7 points.
9:05 to play, third quarter at Taylor Field. 1st and 10 for the Lions. The Saskatchewan 54. Joe Powpow at the controls once more. It is tossed to Carinci.
And Carinci is back in the lineup today. A little spot duty. Bob Abelvich, of course, had him with the Argonauts years ago and knows his value to a club, can play so many positions. And Jan's father is recovering in Toronto from a heart attack and a bypass surgery. And Jan asked me if I would pass along his best wishes to his dad, and we do as well. And hope you're feeling a lot better, Mr. Carinci, and have a good recovery.
Lots of 1. This is 2nd and 11. Right on the 55. From the shotgun. Jay Christensen, first down. He is inside the 40, almost to the 35. 18-yard gain for Jay Christensen.
Well, you know, Doug Flutie would love to take advantage of that fumble recovery by Rick Ryan, and, or rather Joe Powpow, and convert this into some points.
Into the wind, the BC Lions with a first down. Saskatchewan 37. Nice draw play to Chris Skinner, and that is another Lion first down. 14-yard gain. 26,176 of the Rough Rider faithful here at Taylor Field today.
Well, this is something I think the BC Lions should take advantage of. Move that ball on the ground if they can. I know Saskatchewan's a tough team to run against, but you know, they've got a huge offensive line, and slowly throughout the course of a game, I think that offensive line of the BC Lions can dominate people.
I think Hairston won another from Larry Willis.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, old Stacey Hairston, fastest man in the club, and he's a rookie, only rookie to make the starting lineup of the Riders this year. Started all 13 games on the corner.
On 2nd and 10, Powpow. As it batted down, at least someone made contact with Powpow's arm. Gary Lewis was right in the neighborhood. Might have been him.
Gary Lewis got the hand on Powpow's arm just as he threw it, but the good news is no turnover, and that allows Lou Pasaglia, all-time, gets a chance to kick a field goal this afternoon. His first opportunity to kick a field goal. Well, you see Dave Ridgway, he has had an outstanding year. 80% robo-kicker.
Saglia's first try is wide. Chance for the return, Albert Brown. Brown Gets back to the 22, which is fairly decent. The turnover doesn't cost the Roughriders a point. So it's 6:46 to play in the third quarter. Still one touchdown separating BC Lions and the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Quite a night for Rick Foggy, quite a night for Darrell K. Smith of the Argos Saturday at the Sky Dome. Foggy tied a 30-year-old club record, which shares now with Tobin Rote with 7 touchdown passes in the game, and Darrell K. Smith made 1 of 4 outstanding catches for this touchdown. He ties Bill Simons and a couple of other people with 4 touchdown passes. And there is number 4 as he took it off the hands of the Hamilton defender. 60-39 the final in this one, as the Argo juggernaut is really on a tear.
How about that? 16 touchdown receptions now for Darrell Smith of the Argonauts.
Pretty good race he's got going with Craig Ellis of the Eskimos. This is Lucius Floyd out of the backfield, but not far, as Alondra Johnson is right on top of him.
Alondra Johnson's got great speed, you know, and he was a player back at West Texas State. You know, he used to return some punts and kickoffs. He's a linebacker, and he's got some outstanding speed to get the outside and cover those running backs out of the backfield. When you look at linebacking cores, and we talked about that in our viewer mail on the CFL report, and boy, every team seems to have a couple of good ones, and all 3 for the BC Lions are excellent.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15, facing Austin here. Here comes the charge. Austin cannot get away. Loose ball. Now it'll depend whether they ruled him down or not. It is going to be a BC football. The fumble recovery going to Dietrich Wise. Number 78, that's his 2nd of the day. And Austin is injured on the play.
Well, the BC Lion front 4 has not had a great deal to celebrate about this year, but in the last few games, they have really seemed to pick up the pace. Bob Obilovich came in and decided who he wanted to play. They'd shuffled so many guys in and out of that lineup, and he settled on a few guys like Dietrich Wise, and he's a rookie from Jackson State, and finally they are getting some pressure on opposing quarterbacks, and this sack by Derek McCready and number 95 Wayne Dixon results in the fumble and the fumble recovery by Dietrich Wise, and a glorious opportunity for the BC Lions to extend their lead, driving into the wind here in the third quarter. Well, then you see Austin really gets bent over with his leg just as he fumbles the football, and that gets Jeff Bentram up off the bench in a hurry. He, of course, is the backup quarterback along with Tony Rice.
Kent Austin seriously injured down there, it appears right now. He'll have to come off for a while for sure, and he is being tended to by the Rough Rider medical team. 21-14, BC out in front with another turnover. That makes 6 on the afternoon, given up by the Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
John, you know, we talked about the importance of this game for both teams, and really for the BC Lions, they trail Saskatchewan by 5 points going into this game this afternoon, you know, and there's only 5 games after today, remaining 10 points. So for them to win today and decrease that deficit to 3 instead of upping it to 7, I mean, this is huge for them.
Warming up, Jeff Bentram, and behind him is Tony Rice, who has not played a down of football for Saskatchewan, at least does not appear anywhere in the statistical story.
Well, something comes from the backside.
Bentram is tossed for 516 yards. He's thrown a few too many interceptions, though, 10 on the season and 2 touchdowns.
Not the kind of ratio you like, but how about this one?
Well, here's the final matchup of the season, perhaps. Toronto at Baltimore for 3 games. We'll have it for you. Games 1 and 2 in the series, Monday and Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. The Jays win this afternoon. That means the Red Sox still lead, but it is down to 1 game. The Red Sox move into Chicago for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The Blue Jays, or Chicago in Boston, I should say.
And, of course, the Red Sox had trouble with the White Sox the last time they got together a couple of weeks ago, and the Blue Jays swept the Baltimore Orioles in their last 3-game series at the Sky Dome. So a lot of baseball still left in that American League East, we hope.
Yes, magic numbers all over the place, lots of confusion. Kent Austin is on the sidelines, helped there by a couple of big Rough Rider offensive linemen. Here is Powell on the draw, and that is not the most effective play in the BC Lion playbook, with Powell carrying and Jurison right there for Saskatchewan.
You have to believe that's the surprise factor right there, because nobody expecting Joe Paopao to run with the football, and Bobby Jurison didn't fool him at all. He was ready for Joe coming through the line of scrimmage, and he held him to no gain at all on that play. In fact, I think they lost a yard.
2nd and goal. BC Lions at the Saskatchewan 7. Paopao, far side. Carinci can't make the catch. Stacey Hairston makes the play.
Well, he made a great play. You know what? He and Richie Hall had Larry Willis and Jan Carinci to their side. When Willis ran the quick post, Richie Hall picked him up, and that meant Stacey Harrison could drop off and pick up Carinci to the outside. I mean, that is good defense. You really have to work together verbally on those plays to leave your man and pick up another one, but Richie Hall and Stacey Harrison did it perfectly, and Stacey Harrison, he has had himself one fine football game this afternoon.
So Lou Pasaglia, chip shot field goal into the wind with 5:08 remaining 3rd quarter. Moody will hold. Pasaglia is good. So 24-14 now. 10 points. The BC advantage.
Well, I think the fact that BC Lions scored any points here in the 3rd quarter against this wind, they would feel that's an encouraging sign, as they have a 10-point lead right now. Ken Austin engineered 1 touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. They lead the quarter 7-3, but I'm sure are wanting to do a lot more damage than that, and the damage really to Ken Austin's leg just does not look good.
Ken Austin heads down the tunnel to the medical room here at Taylor Field. Not good news for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Well, not good news for anybody. We like seeing him play. He's one of the most exciting quarterbacks in the league. Has just broken Ron Lancaster's single-season passing record here this afternoon, and oh boy, you hate to see that.
He leaves the game 68 yards short of 4,000 passing yards on the season. Short kick taken by John Hoffman, and he is driven back to the 41. Lions were all over Hoffman on a short kick that time into the breeze. Jeff Bentram for the Saskatchewan Roughriders now.
Well, you know, the numbers are not great for Bentram, as you see right there, but make no mistake, he's a quarterback that can get on a streak, and I suggest he'll have to do that in a hurry with only about 4:50 remaining here in this 3rd quarter with the wind at their backs. But he is a good one, and if you give him some time to throw, he can get the job done.
He had some success against BC when he got into the game last time. Fairholm can't hang on to the pass from Bentram. It is ruled no catch, no fumble. And Fairholm shaken up slightly.
Norman Jefferson sitting in a rolled-up zone coverage. Now, he reads the pass pattern as Fairholm comes across the field. He squeezes down that zone coverage, and watch the helmet and shoulder right in the ribs of Jeff Fairholm. And Fairholm is leaving the field. He is hurt.
Decline. 2nd down.
Ken Moore called for a legal procedure. It'll be 2nd and 10 as the Lions decline the penalty.
You know, Bob Obelovich is a great believer in the zone coverage, and the BC Lions have done an excellent job this afternoon. Nobody's been really able to get in behind them except for the one Ray Elgard catch.
Bentram has a 1st down to Don Narcisse. Billy Bell was covering, tackled him instantly, but Narcisse had the necessary yard.
Well, you can tell the good receivers from the not-so-good ones in a hurry, and Don Narcisse is one of the good ones. He comes back to the quarterback on those hook plays, keeps that separation that he's created between himself and the defensive back, and well, he does it perfectly.
On the hurry-up offense, Lucius Floyd breaks out, and he's close to the 45. Well, short of the 1st down with 3:54 to go, 3rd quarter. 24-14, the visiting Lions lead the hometown Roughriders here so far. Kent Austin is out. Jeff Bentram in at quarterback. Bentram. Narcisse. Now, do they call it a catch? Hang on. Ruled no catch.
And he will not argue either. No question that ball skipped in. I don't know if John Gregory is going to agree with that, but the officials looked at each other, and the official that had the best vantage point came quickly and indicated that, yes, as he caught the ball, it touched the ground. And
a scooper.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Close.
Boy, he made it look good, though, didn't he?
He certainly did.
Yeah, but that's a nice job by the officials getting together, and the official that had the best vantage point ended up making that call, and that's the way it should be done.
Dave Ridgway, long field goal, good. His longest of the season, 53 yards. We're back to 7 points. As Ridgway hits from 53, the Rough Riders still trail, but they've narrowed the gap, 24 to 17 right now. Back live at Taylor Field in Regina. Good one going here this afternoon between the Lions and the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. 4-17. And lots of time to go. Troubled times for John Gregory after last week in Winnipeg. And he's talking to Jack Alexander, the team doctor. We have word on how serious the injury is to Kent Austin as yet.
Well, you don't like to speculate, but the way he left the field, that did not look good. With the knee injury.
Bob Obilovich and the rejuvenated BC Lions doing a pretty good job here this afternoon.
It looks funny to see him in the orange and black, though, doesn't it? You're not so used to him with the Toronto Argos. All of a sudden, in fact, you know, last week I was kidding him about that. He said, yeah, I can't even feel funny with this black and orange on, but as the weeks go by, he will feel more comfortable in those colors.
I think the football team feels a little more comfortable with Obilovich at the controls.
Well, he said it was in total disarray when he got there. He couldn't believe it, and he's been able to straighten out a few things since he arrived.
Chris Skinner for a couple into the final 3 minutes of the third quarter. The 2nd and 8.
That's where it's good to have a veteran like Joe Pow in at quarterback. 2nd and 8, you're into the wind. You're almost through this third quarter, and actually it's been a pretty good quarter for the BC Lions, all things considered. And I think Joe's experience, you know, he's got to be careful here. Doesn't want to give up the turnover at this stage.
And he escaped. Gets it away for Chris Skinner, and Skinner stopped short of the first down. Eddie Lowe was there. Albert Brown there too. Bobby Jurison, number 71. The whole Rough Rider gang waiting for him.
The offensive line, for the most part, has done a pretty good job protecting the BC Lion quarterbacks this afternoon. Rocco Romano, number 58. Didn't have a whole lot to do right here, but at the very end, he just keeps Chuck Klingbeil away from Pow and allows him to dump the ball off to Skinner. They didn't pick up the first down, but they didn't do anything crazy either, and that allows Lou Pasaglia to come in and hopefully kick the ball away.
Another tough snap for Pasaglia to hang on to, trying to kick it away from Orville Lee. Lee retreats back near the 25, and there's no return there to speak of for Orville Lee. Pasaglia gets the job done, Lee.
Funny kind of punt, but the sideways rotation seemed to go through that tough wind a little better than some of the other punts this afternoon, and they got the maximum distance on that exchange.
Actually, a 43-yard kick.
Boy,
the breeze.
That is great. No return.
I guess that might have been the screwball he threw in that time.
Could be. I won't argue with that.
Bentram is the quarterback for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and first down to the far side. He has a strike to Don Narcisse. 12-yard gain. Roughriders move it again.
Boy, he runs some great patterns. You know, good, sharp, crisp outcut, comes back to the quarterback. You'll see him right here. Watch how he works his way back on a good angle to the sidelines. And, boy, that is textbook right there.
To this side, the near side for Greg Harris, who slipped. That had the makings of a decent play for Saskatchewan, but Harris lost his footing. There have been several players landing on their backside this afternoon.
A lot of guys like to wear the tape on the shoes. They call it spatting. And, boy, I'm a real believer in not using tape on the shoes, especially on the artificial turf, because it just makes for a pretty slippery surface. And some of the guys continue to wear it and continue to slip, however.
2nd and 10, Saskatchewan from the 40. Bentram steps up. What a knockdown by Willie Pless. He almost intercepted it. Pless got one hand on it. The ball came down with him. He couldn't hang on.
Oh, what a great What a hang time for Willie Pless. It seemed like he was up there forever. The BC Lions come with the safety blitz. Kevin Clark and Willie Pless in the right spot to knock that ball down. That's great defense. He has played some great defense all season long. 4th in the league in tackles, and well, he has 3 interceptions. That shows you why. His great range. I mean, he was downfield 25 yards to make that knockdown.
3rd down. Mike Lisecki with the breeze. Tony Hunter chased back to his 8-yard line. Hunter ran one for 108 yards and a touchdown earlier. Not this time. Suter makes the stop at the 25. 62-yard kick, 17-yard return.
Well, there's a flag down. John Hoffman and Ryan Hansen were having a good little battle on the way downfield, and I think, as always happens, John Hoffman got the last shot in, and he's going to get called for roughing.
Major foul, number 19, unnecessary roughness. 1st down, BC.
I mean, you got to have a little more self-control than that. And boy, that is good news to see Ken Austin back on the bench. Whether he can come back into the game, we don't know. Peter Watts is working his way over to, I'm sure, find out and give us a report shortly.
Lions with good field position. This is the newcomer, Eldridge. And out near the 45 that time.
Pushed into touch by 70.
The final minute, 37 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. BC leading the way 24-17. From the 43. 2nd and long, 2nd and 8. Foul from the shotgun. Too high for Larry Willis. And without a 1st down, they'll have to kick into the wind, so the Roughriders get a bit of a break here by holding on defensively.
Ken Austin sitting on the bench, through for the day. The preliminary diagnosis is a twisted knee, but they're not real sure. There's some swelling. He's got an ice pack on it. They'll take a day to take a look at it before they see what they do next.
All right, Peter, Louis Passaglia just gets it away. Albert Brown, the return. Another flag comes down, and you're angry again, I can tell.
Hey, it's a simple thing, you know, stay 5 yards away from the football. And I'm sure this one's going to cost the BC Lions 15 because the ball's just sitting there. That's not the wind rule, so, you know, that's a lot of yardage to give up on a pretty basic thing.
Well, we'll see how many yards it will cost the BC Lions. We get the Rough Riders fans started early, obviously. Quarter cannot end on a penalty, so even though the zeros are up on the scoreboard, we'll wait for the official call here.
No yards. From the 35 BC, bounce back, 5-yard penalty.
The bounce back.
1st down, Saskatchewan.
Only 5 late.
Well, I think they got lucky right there because the ball was just sitting around. It really wasn't a bounce back, in my opinion. Of course, my opinion doesn't count for a whole lot.
Absolutely nothing.
Anyway, last play of the 3rd quarter.
Rough Riders one more play with a win. This is Milton Jones. Good call. As Jones races to the 50. I think everyone would have thought pass, and the drop play worked pretty well.
Nice call, wasn't it? Good block by Roger Aldag on Tank Landry. Sprung Milton Jones for that big 1st-yard gain.
That is quarter number 3 with the Lions out in front by a touchdown. Lots more ahead. Back live to Taylor Field, Regina. Our TSN Game of the Week with the Rough Riders. Trying to catch the BC Lions. Lucius Floyd on 1st down.
The runner is
5. Gain of close to 5. Willie Pless get on the stop. Market a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 coming up for Saskatchewan at the BC 45. 4th quarter just underway. Lions lead at 24-17. There's Milson Jones, another Saskatchewan first down. And Jones is still going. He gets inside the 25. Tough guy to bring down. 23-yard gain. Rick Ryan finally got over to make the stop on Milson Jones.
Milson Jones does such a nice job after he catches the football. I mean, he knows he's going to take the hit here as he catches it. Watch how he drops down that left shoulder, gets really low, and almost gets underneath number 3, Kenny Watson. He avoids the tackle right there. Breaks another one by Billy Bell, and what a nice play that was.
Saskatchewan's drive continues from the shotgun at the 22. Bentram inside the 5, and Fairholm has the catch. Kevin Clark saved the touchdown.
Well, the BC Lions had success in the first quarter. When Regina was going into the wind, they came up and played the receivers pretty tight. Now they've allowed the Saskatchewan receivers a lot of room back there in that secondary, and I think they're going to have to tighten it up just a touch against them. With Saskatchewan now at the 4-yard line. What a nice drive to get it with Jeff Bentram at the control.
18-yard gain. Bentram to Jeff Fairholm. This is Milson Jones. Touchdown. From 4 yards away, Milson Jones finds the end zone. He had a big part in that drive with 2 key first downs for the Roughriders, and finishes it off with a touchdown from 4 yards out.
Well, he really did. This is a nice job. Once again, he hits it off tackle and then bounces it to the outside. Good blocking up front. It's a nice block by Orville Lee out in front, and Milson Jones, all 240 pounds, slams it into the end zone, and the Roughriders are right back in the thick of things.
All but even here, and now it is as Dave Ridgway makes it 24 Saskatchewan, 24 for the BC Lions. Lions had a 14-point lead. The Roughriders came back, cut it in half. Lions also increased and had a 10-point lead at one stage, but now it is all even at 24-24. There's your pal Gaynor. Number 71 up in the crowd there, too.
Who was that? 71.
Well, it's Bobby Jurison today. It was Leif Pedersen for a time.
Gordy Barwell before that. And who knows before Gordy. But what we do know is Milson Jones, with that 4-yard touchdown run now, has tied up this ball game at 24. On that drive, he had the one good catch for 23 yards, and then one 4-yard touchdown run right there. Milson Jones, 9-year veteran, University of North Dakota.
Short kickoff. Mike Marasco takes it. He's going nowhere. Nice tackle by David Pitcher, number 89. It's all even here. Good finish. Expected at Taylor Field.
Back. All right, there you see the scoring drive. It only took 5 plays to travel 67 yards, and the Milson Jones touchdown has tied this ball game up as we are nicely underway here in the 4th quarter.
Here's Doug Flutie in at quarterback once more. David Eldridge, the new running back. Stopped by David Albright.
I think this is a good move, bringing Flutie in for the 4th quarter. Kind of had a feeling Bob Abilovich would do this. Let Pow work into the win for the 3rd quarter and then bring Flutie in. And now you have the run factor into that BC Lion offense. And Flutie can get the job done through the air, but I think the biggest threat that he can pose to that Saskatchewan defense is when he rolls out and has the option of either running or throwing.
A couple of yards to gain. This is 2nd and 8 BC from the Lion 43. Flutie for Willis. Off him. Intercepted by Eddie Lowe. 2nd interception of the game for Lowe. And he's still rambling. Diving inside the 20. Ian Sinclair made the stop on Eddie Lowe. Larry Willis was the intended receiver. It bounced off.
Albert Brown does a super job in coverage right here. He doesn't allow Willis to get in on the quick post. Cuts him off. tip ball. Eddie Lowe with his second of the day, and all of a sudden, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who have trailed all afternoon, have an opportunity to get their first lead of the afternoon.
Jeff Bentram looks to the end zone on first down. Elgard, the intended receiver, and Kenny Watson was covering.
Kenny Watson did a great job in coverage on Ray Elgard. Watson with a big interception last week against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Almost comes up with one right here. Times it perfectly, makes his break on the football, and at least he knocked it down. He had a good chance to pick that one off.
Bentram underthrowing just a little bit. 2nd and 10. Roughriders at the BC 20. Early movement from the BC side. Bentram for Narcisse. Touchdown. And a flag is down in the end zone as well. It would look like the touchdown should stand. We'll wait for official confirmation, but Don Narcisse has one more for his total. Offside against the Lions, the first penalty flag. Narcisse, nice pattern as he gets in behind Billy Bell for his second touchdown of the game. Once more, Leaf.
Yeah, good protection up front with the blitz coming. Jeff Bentram steps up in front of Alondra Johnson, throws a perfect strike to Don Narcisse, and Billy Bell just cannot have the coverage.
Now, the convert is blocked.
Ooh, that could be a big one.
So it is a 6-point difference instead of what we would have guessed would have been an easy 7-point, or an easy convert for a 7-point Saskatchewan advantage. So the Roughriders, for the first time this afternoon, have the lead on Don Narcisse's second touchdown, and it's 30-24 for the hometown rival.
CFL Priority Courier Player of the Week. The defensive player for week number 11 is Toronto's Ed Barry. The Argo cornerback helped bury the rival Hamilton Tiger Cats 39-16 with good old-fashioned tough defense. Ed Barry picked off 3 of Toronto's 4 interceptions, his longest providing a 45-yard return. He also contributed 5 tackles and made his area dangerous for trespassers. Ed Barry, CFL Priority Courier Defensive Player of the Week.
30-24, the Saskatchewan Roughriders in front for the first time this afternoon. Couple of points about the scoring drive, the last 2. 1, Jeff Bentram has been terrific coming off the bench, and he may need to carry the ball with Kent Austin with a knee problem for a while. And 2, guys, Milson Jones has been tremendous. We're seeing fullbacks in the CFL with more to do than just block anymore. Blake Marshall had a terrific game on Friday night for Edmonton in a losing cause. And certainly today, Milson Jones has been a major factor in this Rider rally.
Some big plays at the appropriate times for the Saskatchewan Roughriders this afternoon. And Jeff Bentram, as you mentioned, Peter, has done a nice job since he has come in and taken over for the injured Kent Austin. He lays it out perfectly here for Donald Narcisse's second touchdown of the day, 8th on the year. How about Eddie Lowe, too? He set it all up with his interception, second of the afternoon. And boy, he's had 69 yards on 2 interception returns this afternoon. So a number of riders making key contributions this afternoon to get them into this 30-24 lead.
Here's the Rough Rider kickoff. And here's the Lion return going nowhere. Eldridge stops after a gain of maybe 1 inside the BC 40. And there's a flag down. It's the first missed convert by David Ridgway this season. He was good on 33 of 33 coming into the game. And it could be costly.
Major foul. Necessary roughness, 35 BC. First down.
Paul Wetmore. And the penalty forces the Lions inside the 30. At the 29. At the 24, I should say. 1st and 10. BC. This is Doug Flutie at quarterback. Flutie slips. Fires for Alexander. And Alexander converts with a first down out across the 35.
Well, that was a good job of both Doug Flutie and Ray Alexander realizing the safety blitz. The Rough Riders love to do this to try and reestablish and get some momentum with Richie Hall on the short side of the field. They'll blitz him. Flutie saw it. Alexander quickly, and boy, as a result, they pick up a first down. But that's good recognition by Doug Flutie. Richie Hall, one of the better defensive backs in the league, at coming with the blitz.
Well, the second half has belonged to the Roughriders. They trailed by 2 touchdowns at halftime. They have the lead by 6 now. Flutie out of the middle. Ray Alexander has big yardage. Good move by Alexander as he crosses the 40, is now inside the 35-yard line. Suter made the stop, the last man back. A 38-yard gain.
Well, once again, the same thing. Richie Hall, number 7, on the safety blitz. Flutie sees it, and well, they have the right patterns called. You got to go short and quick, and here comes Alexander underneath the coverage, and nobody can grab him. And a couple of great moves here. Look at the move to get away. You're going to see it right here. Maybe fakes the pitch.
I think he was thinking of slipping it out to Larry Willis.
That's a big gain, though. 38-yarder. Back-to-back catches for Ray Alexander.
From the 35, first down, and Skinner has a couple. Eddie Lowe in on the tackle, number 42. John Gregory's all-time coaching record, 31, 34, and 1. The big year last year, coach of the year, and a Grey Cup win. Second and 8, Lions. Saskatchewan 33. Flutie has time. His receiver was well covered. Christensen was the intended receiver. He was covered by Rasevich.
Dan Rasevich, one of the unsung heroes, really, in this Saskatchewan Rough Rider defense. He's tied with club lead in tackles. 7-year veteran, 4 of those years spent with the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Doug Flutie tried to sneak that one in there to Jay Christensen, but the coverage just a little too good. This is the nice thing now for the BC Lions, though, in the fourth quarter. They trail by 6, and with the wind at their back, you know, they just have to get it inside the other team's territory, and that allows Pasaglia probably some opportunities at field goals.
Pasaglia is wide.
Wow.
With the wind wide. 30 to 25, so all kinds of interesting possibilities now in the fourth quarter. Lou Pasaglia misses, but the BC Lions not out of it by a long shot. 8:41 to play. TSN Game of the Week, live from Taylor Field, Regina.
For the 3rd straight week, we'll see the British Columbia Lions. Next Saturday night, the Ottawa Roughriders will visit the Dome at BC Place in Vancouver. CFL report at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, followed by the game itself, live at 10:30 Eastern.
And we'll get to see the old Hall of Famer when we're out in Vancouver next week, Frank Rigney.
Yes, we will, and hopefully Friday afternoon we'll get together with Frank and maybe whack a couple of golf balls at the beautiful Capilano golf course. But both these men are very concerned right now with the outcome of this game, as we have 8:41 remaining here in the fourth quarter. John Gregory's Saskatchewan Roughriders have a 5-point lead over the BC Lions. His club will now work into that strong breeze here in the fourth quarter rather.
Jeff Bentram has done a pretty good job in relief of Kent Austin so far. Let's see what he does here. Trouble. He gets away. More trouble. He can't get away. Dragged down by Brown at the 15-yard line.
15-yard line.
Marlon Brown is an interesting story. You know, he left high school in the U.S. and he went over and he joined the Army and went to Germany. And while he was in Germany, he played some football over there with a couple of clubs, and then he returned, of course, went to Memphis State, but he has got some great speed. He is more or less the rush end at 6'3" and 225 pounds. 3rd sack of the year for him.
Lots of a bunch. This is 1st and 39 for Bentram. Not many options here. Elgard makes the catch, well short of the first down, of course.
Well, I think both teams really did what they wanted on that play. Saskatchewan got some yardage back before Lazecki has to come in and punt it away, and the BC Lions kept everything in front of them and forced Ray Elgard to be short of that first down, so they will get the ball back. Willie Pless, another outstanding afternoon. Oh, he has been everywhere when that ball is coming in the air this afternoon.
Mike Lazecki standing near his 13. Big charge, another block punt. A flag down. Ferenczi has it in the end zone. Now we'll see if that was offside or not. Yes, it was. Ferenczi has the touchdown, but no goal this time around. Offside is the indication from referee Ken Lazarick.
Offside. DC number 78. Third down, repeater.
Now, the only thing I can really think of, they're calling Dietrich Wise, number 78. I didn't see anybody jump, but he must have apparently lined up offside, because you'll watch the snap of the football here, and you'd be the judge at home. And I don't see anybody jump, so he must have lined up offside.
So Lazecki gets another opportunity here. Might be getting a little nervous. One block for a touchdown earlier, and they were through that time.
I think Wilson Jones just turned around him and said, "You better kick that thing a little quicker," which he did.
Not deep, though, up near midfield. Another flag. Tony Hunter on the return. And I don't think there was a bounce-back rule coming into play there, Lee.
No, that's going to be the full 15. I'm sure of that. And for about the 100th time today, there'll be an infraction called on a punt.
No yards. Saskatchewan number 25. First down.
Paul Bushy, he will not be a happy camper when he watches the film of that tomorrow sometime.
Well, you know, it's strictly discipline, and the players all know it's a windy day, and that ball's going to just hang up there. And well, I can't believe how many penalties they say. Well, enough said about that. Let's see if Doug Flutie directs some offense here. They need it badly, trailing by 5.
Flutie, short pass, has his man. David Eldridge has the first down. He's to the 30. He's to the 31 with Albright making the stop there.
Covering on the play.
11-yard gain. 6:26 to go, fourth quarter.
Doug Flutie has done a nice job here in the fourth quarter against the blitz of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Seems like every play they are bringing one of their defensive backs from the short side of the field. Flutie has been able to recognize that quickly and taken advantage of it.
First and 10 Lions. Saskatchewan 31. BC trailing by 5. Flutie looks deep, wide open, touchdown, Jay Christensen. No flags anywhere. The Lions are back in the lead. 31-yard scoring play to Jay Christensen.
Well, he rolled up in his own coverage. Albert Brown, the corner, comes up, and Larry Hogue is supposed to be in the deep outside, and somebody made a mistake, and I think it was, well, you hate to point the finger, but Larry Hogue was the closest guy, so we're going to point it his way for the time being,
okay.
and say that maybe he should have been around there. I know that Albert Brown was up, rolled up. That means the inside guy has to have the deep third, and he wasn't there. And luckily for Jay Christensen, as he picks up his 6th touchdown.
Going for 2 points on the conversion attempt here. With a 1-point lead for BC. 3 would be much more comfortable. Oh! Eldridge had it on the goal line and bobbled it. You want to see this again, Leaf?
Well, this is the Flutie factor, though. He buys himself some time. He did a great job, and David Eldridge, who was playing his first game, would love to have made that catch and extend their lead to 3. However, the good news is they have the lead. The bad news is it's only by 1 instead of...
Well, a field goal can win it for Saskatchewan, but there's a lot of football to be played at Taylor Field here this afternoon. The Lions have bounced back in the lead by a point.
It's ever so tough being ranked number 1 and not being ranked. What assists me is the maximum protection and aromatically airy scents of Right Guard Sport from Gillette. Anything less would be uncivilized.
It's an event just being here. Skydome, the world's greatest entertainment center.
Well, let's have another look at that Jay Christensen touchdown, and he has made some huge plays for the BC Lions this year. Last week against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, it was his touchdown catch early in the game that got them rolling, and now his touchdown catch, the 6th of the year for Jay Christensen, allows the BC Lions to regain their lead 31-30 here in the 4th quarter. Boy, you have to be happy for a young guy like him. He played with the Calgary Stampeders for a number of years, and now getting a chance to start on a regular basis with the BC Lions. He is having his best season ever, and he's telling the veteran Jan Karinsky just how he did it. He said, hey, they left me alone, and it was a piece of cake, Jan. All I had to do was stand there, catch it, and run a few yards. I wish they were all as easy as that one.
4th catch of the day for 67 yards total for Christensen this afternoon.
Get up, get up, get up. Come on, turn it up.
And Orville on the return for Saskatchewan. Flag already down, and Lee down near the 32. Against the Roughriders. And a lot of those little yellow hankies out there today, Leaf.
Referees have had a busy day, rightfully or wrongfully. They've been quite busy.
Holding, Saskatchewan number 81, first down.
Got Ray Elgard that time.
.42 yards in 2 plays. That is efficient offense. The last 3 times the Lions have been here, they've won. Can they do it again? We shall sport it.
And that's lots of time with a 1-point advantage for BC. Bentram for Lucius Floyd. Breaks 1 tackle. Gets out across the 20 to the 22. Stopped by Tank Landry there.
Well, I like the way that Lucius Floyd plays the game. He is a hard-nosed running back since taking over from Timmy McRae. 7-yard pickup on that reception. You know, Timmy McRae is healthy. He's ready to go, but he just can't get back in the lineup. Lucius Floyd has played too well.
2nd and 3. Saskatchewan at the 22. Bentram over the middle. And Fairholm makes the catch in front of Kevin Clark. That'll be a Saskatchewan first down. The Roughriders try and keep the drive alive with 4:54 to play, 4th quarter.
Jeff Fairholm's made some big key catches this afternoon, and that one, another key catch, is good coverage by Kevin Clark.
Roughriders from the 28. Bentram to his right. He'll carry. First down. 15-yard gain.
Well, that's the thing that Jeff Bentram will have to do here in the 4th quarter. As we mentioned, they are working into the stiff wind, and sometimes when the receivers are not open, he will have to take it upon himself. Downfield by Ray Elgard, you see right there, and the 15-yard pickup, and they have a first down. And look at this. Watch Ray Elgard. Hooks to the outside. They can't get the ball into him. Watch the block on Willie Pless. That's a nice job.
Hi, Willie.
They have the old hip pointer after that. Well, that's like the old hockey hip check. Fernie Flaman, who was inducted into the Canadian NHL Hockey Hall of Fame this week. He was the great one at the hip check, and that's what Ray Elgard just did to Willie Pless there. Oh, I remember all these things about Fernie Flaman. I mean, this is amazing.
Absolutely amazing, but then you've got a mile or 2 on you. So
yes, yes, that's true. That's true. Ray Elgard.
Remember those old stories.
They don't want him out of the lineup. He's having his best season ever by far, Ray Elgard is. Well, let's have one more look at it. The old hip check. There's the left knee right there. Gives him a thump right in the hip.
He must have played a little hockey.
Looked like great, great hip check. Fernie Flaman.
4:16 to play, 4th quarter. Elgard helped off the field now.
Well, this brings up the old controversy about this when you're hurt and you have to come out for 3 plays now. And they put that rule in to stop that stalling late in games at the halves and late in the game, you know, so guys wouldn't go down to stop the clock. But in this situation, you know, you need an Elgard in there desperately as you're trying to drive down and recapture that lead. And if he's okay to come in after a play, I don't know. I kind of think that rule in a lot of cases is tough on teams.
Well, I don't think it's really going to apply here. I think Elgard is going to have to sit down for a moment or 2.
So you won't take a stand on this one. Wow, how did I know that? Oh, well. I don't think the rules. I think the rule should be sit out for 3 in the last 2 minutes of the half and last 2 minutes of the game. But nevertheless, I don't get a voice in a lot of those decisions.
Absolutely, and it's fairly obvious why you don't.
Okay.
1st and 10. Benjamin is the quarterback for the Roughriders, and Milson Jones is the ball carrier. Landro Johnson making the stop. And Jones is halfway to a 1st down at 2nd and 5. Bruce Boyko is in for Ray Elgard. Fairholm, the intended receiver that time. Kevin Clark covering on Jeff Fairholm. They've spent a lot of time together this afternoon.
A pretty good matchup right there. That time the wind really killed the football as Jeff Pentrum tried to sneak it into Jeff Fairholm, but number 16 Kevin make the catch. There you see Clark breaking on the football. Might not have been able to stop the 1st down, but I don't think Jeff Fairholm would have gone a great deal further than that.
Some early motion line there, and Bob Foley.
Wait till they sort this one out, because if Saskatchewan gets 5 yards, you know, that's going to set up about a 3rd and 1, and I think John Gregory at this point would gamble for it. So the way the officials called this game with 3:23 remaining.
Now Mike Lazecki wonders what's going on, but he was facing a kick into the wind here once more. His last kick into the wind was 25 yards. We'll sort it out here with Zurich.
I think it's the no harm, no foul rule right here.
Well, it is 3rd and 5. And no infraction has been handed out either way. Pretty decent kick into a strong breeze. And Foley decks the BC Lions, whoever it was. Hunter, I suppose.
And I think this is a real case where Bob Foley could be called for no yards plus roughing in 30 yards. We'll see how severe the referees want to penalize Bob Foley on this one. But, I mean, if they gave him 30 yards, I wouldn't be...
It's Jefferson on the return, and Foley meets him.
I mean, there's no question the intent there was roughing and to try and really rearrange the punt returner, Jefferson. And we shall see what the referees call, and don't be surprised. And they are going.
4 yards. Number 37, Saskatchewan. Major foul. 37, Saskatchewan.
It's going to be 30 yards, and in fact, I think it's a good call.
I cannot disagree. The 3-minute warning is up. The Saskatchewan Rougher won. There's lots more football ahead at Taylor Field. And the Lions have great field position after a 30-yard penalty against veteran Bob Foley.
They're really only about 1 first down away from a field goal here, and of course with their 1-point lead they would certainly love to add at least a field goal here, and of course Saskatchewan, they have to score a major.
Flutie surrounded and down.
Goldsmith, a nice job to get the penetration. Doug Flutie had intentions of running the football himself, but Vince Goldsmith, the cagey veteran that he is, read it perfectly, and he gets the sack. On that one.
2:34 to go. I wonder who that .5 of a quarterback was that Vince Goldsmith had way back when.
Always loved that. Half a sack.
For Flutie. Boy, he might have come up with a first down. Where was he forced out? I think he did.
He got it. That's a great run.
Terrific run. It looked like he was surrounded.
Well, there's no question. That's why Bob Obilovich has Doug Flutie in here at quarterback in the 4th quarter. And this is the reason why. His ability to run. And, boy, on the 2nd and 15, he gets to the outside. A little hesitation right there. And you watch, it's 4 yards. And that is a huge first down because they now are definitely in range for Lou Pasaglia to come in and attempt the field goal if they don't pick up any more first downs.
2:15 to go. The Lions lead it by a point. This is Skinner. Chris Skinner gets out to about the 32. Lions have the lead at 31-30. Skinner once more cuts back. And he'll be short of the first down. About a yard short. 1:47 remaining now. It is in.
Well, this is a big play now for the BC Lions. They could extend their lead to 4 points. And that, of course, would force Saskatchewan with had a great deal of time on the clock to score a touchdown to win this game.
Away. Pasaglia has missed two. Not this time. The Lions have a 4-point lead.
So I would assume that Bob Abilovich team to do their best to get downfield quickly and prevent the Saskatchewan Roughriders from having a big return.
Well, if the Lions can hang on, they can hang on to a hope of making it in the playoffs.
Of course, Ottawa got pounded this afternoon by Calgary, and the BC Lions will entertain the Ottawa Roughriders next weekend. So, you know, things are looking a lot better for the BC Lions in the next week or so if they're able to hang on and win today.
Side, Lucius Floyd, and that is a first down. Alondra Johnson forced him out.
Do not count these Saskatchewan Roughriders out by any stretch here. 1:23 remaining. Their own 47-yard line, and don't forget the BC Lions are a defense that has given up 35 points a game, so I mean you can score on these guys.
Roughriders going without this stage of things and the #1 quarterback, Kent Austin, but Boyko comes up with a catch. Number 15, Bruce Boyko. 2 starts this season, both against the Ottawa Roughs versus Saskatchewan here.
Second-round pick by the Roughriders in the 1990 draft. Bruce Boyko from Western Michigan makes a nice catch there to keep this drive going. Got him
at the 40, and the Roughrider drive is alive. 1:14 to go.
Greg Harris has not been a factor this afternoon in this football game at all, but here late he makes a key catch for Jeff Bentrim, and what a great throw that was. Jeff Bentrim has come in late now for the injured Kent Austin taking control.
12-yard gain. The Roughriders continue with Milson Jones. Jones inside the 20, still going, still going, he'll score. Wasn't that a brilliant run? And an outstanding drive as the Roughriders are back in the lead. A 40-yard touchdown for Milson, partner.
Well, it was a great call, a draw play. Everybody thinking pass, including the BC Lions, and they are shocked. As you watch Milson Jones break a number of tackles right here on the way to his 40-yard gallop. Jefferson had a shot, Watson at the end, but Milson Jones with his second touchdown of the afternoon has the Saskatchewan Roughriders out in front by 2, and David Ridgway can make it through.
Carries for Milson Jones. 114 yards, couple of touchdowns. Ridgway makes the convert that time, and back to a 3-point ball game. 1:02 to go.
Well, John, you look back, field goals from this 2-pointer, and the BC Lions find themselves trailing by 3. Now, if there's the one bad thing that the Saskatchewan Roughriders did that thing a little too quickly. There's still 1:02 remaining, and the BC Lions, of course, tie this game up.
And give a little credit to Jeff Bentrim on that drive. I mean, he really executed it well. Had some key players out, in guard in particular, down.
Well, John Gregory talked about Jeff Bentrim yesterday and the fact that he has the ability to come in off the bench and do a good job for them. They are pretty comfortable with, of course, they'd rather have Austin in, but Jeff Benson has shown the valuable guy to have as your backup quarterback, as he's done a good job engineering that touchdown drive for them to take the lead.
Is my impression, or does Milson Jones usually pick up most of his yards later in the game? And called upon later in this ball game.
He's a guy that can come up with a big play in a hurry for you.
Tony Hunter, and a flag goes down. Stopped by Stacey Hairston.
Milson Jones with a big touchdown run in the opener this year against the Hamilton Tiger Cats to win that football game.
Penalty is against the Lions, and that will hurt BC's chances with 57 seconds to go. Against the Lions, who have a long way to hit the end zone now. 37-34. Field goal ties it, though. Flutie is in. Willis short of the first down, 52 seconds to go. Larry Willis' first catch of the day.
Yeah, it took a long time for that to happen. Almost 59, a little better than 59 minutes for Larry Willis to get his first one, but now Doug Flock is moving. He has to get them going in a hurry.
Flutie carries himself and slides safely at the 41. 37. First down, BC. 37-34. Lions have led most of the way. Roughriders took the lead. Third quarter, Roughriders just took the lead once more. Carinci, the intended receiver, and Flutie was off target. 28 seconds to go now. Well, plays. Just about all of the 26,000 who arrived here today are safe in their seats. Finish at Taylor Field, Regina. There have been a few. Flutie running out of time. Dan Carinci short of the first down, 22 seconds to go. On the tackle.
Stacey Hairston in there as well. He was shaken up on the play, but give Doug Flutie some credit. He's trying his best here late in the game, but he has to get it downfield a little farther now. 22 seconds remaining and 4 yards to go before they can be looking at a field goal.
Batted down. Alexander was the intended receiver, and I see Eddie Lowe in the area. And I think he might have got a big mitt on it.
Yeah, Larry Hogue was there as well, number 3, with his 2 interceptions, and that does it.
The Lions have run out of downs, and they have run out of time.
Let's have a look. See who came up with the knockdown. Eddie Lowe was in the area. There's the hand.
Yes, sir.
Did the damage. Eddie Lowe with a knockdown, 2 interceptions. Give the Saskatchewan Roughriders credit. They came back here in the 4th quarter on a beautiful drive engineered by Jeff Benson, capped off with the 40-yard touchdown run by Milson Jones. Wow.
Down to the final few seconds, ticking away on the BC Lions. Standing ovation for the Roughriders. You can hear the ovation in the background. And you'll see the Rough Rider fans right there standing right down to the last minute today for the Rough Riders to pick up their 7th win of the season. 4th-year coach John Gregory and first-time BC.
Well, it makes it interesting now. John with the Saskatchewan Roughrider win. Of course, they move up to 14 points and only trail Edmonton by 4. And of course, with Calgary winning this afternoon, they're at 15. So the Saskatchewan Roughs in the West after this win. The good news is, though, they've about put the BC Lions out of their misery for the year. Saskatchewan and Calgary, I would think, is sure to playoff spots at this point. And now John Gregory and the rest of his team can start taking a look at this half of the year. And he will have a heart check, I think, later on this afternoon, because his team rallied in the greatest of fashions here to win this game this afternoon.
Well, the Rough Riders still have a shot at top spot. The BC had a chance at making the playoffs, but really it is outside after this loss today.
They needed to win this one this afternoon to cut that deficit to 3 points. They weren't able to do it, and Saskatchewan Roughriders, hey, give them credit. Full value for their victory this afternoon.
At Taylor Field today.
Pretty easy to pick a Molson MVP game star today. 42 of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Once again, a terrific job. This was an interception early in the first quarter of the ball game to the end zone, and Eddie Lowe stepped in front of an intended pass and returned it about 38 yards, as I recall. He had another interception later. He had a key knockdown of a pass in the dying seconds as the Lions were driving to try and get a field goal. He's a hero of the Riders. Saskatchewan wins it 37-34. More from Taylor Field after this.